7:15, and these are our top stories that we're following today. We do have the winds moving from the Midwest into the Northeast, as well as some snow with this thing.
A little bit of snow, and you can see it on the radar right now. We'll let you know if it gets down to the lower 48. Big snow in the Northwest, in the mountains. Big rain, too. 8 to 12 inches of rain here.
And feet of snow as well. And then this system dives south as we head into our next Monday and Tuesday and causes severe weather into the center of the country. Well, welcome into the Weather Channel. I'm Stephanie Abrams alongside Jen Carfagno.
It's a scary day if you have triskaidekaphobia.
There you go.
Fear of Friday the 13th. Also scary today, the weather and the wind. I mean, it's been blowing nonstop.
All right, let's take you to the Great Lakes, where we had gusts over 60 miles an hour in some states here.
You would stay home on a day like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most people, but not this person. Grand Haven, Michigan, come to your television screen. First of all, it's got to be cold. What are the lake temperatures right now? I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm guessing in the 50s or 60s right now.
Lower, I think. Maybe
you think in the 40s?
50s.
So out there
40s,
in that water, with the wind, he is bundled up. But kite surfers, if you love it, I'm sure they had a great time out there. Not enough to keep them off the water, and you can see some people going to check out the waves as well. Now, this whole storm system is moving into the Northeast. This is yesterday. It's our visible satellite, because a visible satellite is like taking a camera with no flash into outer space and taking a picture of what's happening on Earth. So it has to be light out in order to get the visible picture. We like the visible picture because it gives you so much more detail here. So this is a look, and you can see that center of the circulation coming around, and there's the eye. Usually when we talk about an eye, we talk about a hurricane. This is a low pressure. A hurricane is a low pressure. That's a similarity that they have. This is what we call a mid-level synoptic scale system. And by the way, these mid-level synoptic scale systems, way bigger in size than hurricanes. The pressure of this was also down in the 980s. Lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. That goes for hurricanes or mid-lat systems as well. So the rain and the clouds are coming in. Look at the snow into lower Michigan here. And if you look at Michigan, you ask someone where they're from in Michigan, you go like this, and they'll point out on the mitt where they're from. The snow is on the west side. I think we could see some snow also here into the Northeast, mixing in with that rain. But the winds are going to be the biggest issue. As this low pressure, occluded front, that means that it's tapping into its 401k. It's starting to retire and tap out. It's slowly pulling off, but in the meantime, when you see white lines like this close together, that means strong winds, opposed to where they're a little bit farther apart there, if you just want a comparison. So we are going to see those gusty winds, not only today into the Midwest, but also blowing into the Northeast. So watch for those stronger gusts around Detroit into Buffalo. Boston down to D.C., it looks like we could see gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Sustained will be lower. The gusts will also be short-lived. But this whole event has been very long-lived, and that's what Jen keeps talking about. Jen, it's the duration, 24 hours of even, 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
It's problematic.
It's too much for anyone, including your head to take. Steph Reynolds caught me practicing my Michigan thing, because you left the little part out, the UP.
The top of it.
Yeah,
sorry.
so people, they do this, and I was trying to figure out where to put it so you get the Keweenaw at the top. Right, Reynolds? You know what I'm talking about. You're from Michigan.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You spent some time there. Yes.
Can't help it, though. That was a great moment.
Yes.
Special times.
All right, so Michigan, after this, you get a mini break until the next system comes in. That next system poised in the Northwest, ready to come in and make a mess of your weather from the Northwest into the Southern Plains. So we're going to time it out for you and actually fast forward a bit to next week, when Dallas, Chicago, Memphis, that bright sunshine that you see out there, that is going to change. We got rain coming in and a couple of days worth of rain for these spots here. Could be some thunderstorms and even severe weather. It's sort of a repeat of this week. Do you like reruns? Well, we're going to do it again for you. Let's look at this. We've got this big area of low pressure up here in the Gulf of Alaska. This thing is a doozy. And then we're seeing persistent moisture, continuing to bring that moisture right here into Washington state. That plus that energy, put that together, it's going to mean big rain for Washington. And Reynolds is going to talk more about that and the flooding concerns there. But we track it, and we track this energy all the way down across the southern plains by the time we look at Wednesday. So we're going to have another area of low pressure form on the east side of the Rockies. We're going to have that cutoff upper level low stuck right across the south central plains, and that's going to mean several days worth of active weather right here from Texas into Arkansas into Missouri. Lots of moisture at play next week, starting Sunday, especially Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday, right across the Mississippi Valley, and that's going to mean that the rainfall amounts will also add up as well. So thunderstorms one concern, and Steph's going to have more on that coming up in about 15 minutes. That's going to be in Texas, and then the thunderstorm risk extends up here into the Mississippi Valley, where with a couple of days worth of rain, we could be getting about 3 to 5 inches worth of rain. And Reynolds, that could be a concern if we get too much at once. Now, Reynolds, we go to the Northwest, where he's practicing his Michigan hands.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
talking
the UP,
big rain for Washington.
Yeah, well, you know what though? How can you not love Jen Carfagno? That was, yeah, it's a great illustration. But we're going to go from the story of hands to feet, as in feet of snow, especially Mount Rainier. It's going to be ridiculous there. Stephanie's been talking about this all morning long. We have the onslaught of the Pacific moisture when it interacts with the cold air at high elevation. Sakes alive, are you kidding me? Over 100 inches of snowfall that we're talking about over the next 6 days. It is just going to be crazy times. As we ease on over, we're going to show you some of the difference it's going to make to you, not only up in parts of, say, well, the Cascades, but the Sierra Nevada. Desperate for the snowfall, and it's going to be coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, that is money in the bank. That is exactly what we need in drought-ridden California. We don't want the flooding situation. We don't want anyone's life in danger, but we do need the snow. Again, that's what we're saving it for. We see that area of low pressure moving through, and that's going to be the big difference maker that's going to bring the onslaught of moisture into parts of the West Coast. That big door of high pressure that sets up over much of the West Coast during the summer months, that's long gone. So everything is wide open. You've got the moist onshore flow. Some of this will cause some problems, especially in the Seattle area. You can have up to a foot of rainfall, especially north of the Olympic Mountains. But it's going to be the snow that's going to be the big difference maker for so many people. If you're going to be driving back along parts of Snoqualmie Pass, you're going to have some problems there. And you could have some problems along much of I-5, maybe over towards Bend, Oregon. Yeah, the Seven Sisters is nice peaks. You could get some great snowfall there. But the snow in the Sierra Nevada, that is a great thing to see. All right, we're going to shift gears, sing it over to A-Rod.
Good morning, Reynolds, and good morning to you at home. Let's talk about your weather coast to coast and take a look at some of the top weather stories today. The preliminary tornado count from Wednesday evening in Iowa and part of Illinois now up to 13. A confirmed EF1 tornado slammed the town of LeClaire, Iowa, causing damage to homes and other buildings. One home lost its roof. The accompanying storms packed strong winds and brief heavy rain. A cemetery in LeClaire has several trees down and a shed was destroyed. More wreckage found from the cargo ship El Faro, which sank near the Bahamas during Hurricane Joaquin. The National Transportation Safety Board says crews have found the ship's bridge deck detached from the vessel when it sank with 33 crew members on board. The search for El Faro's data recorder continues. Those are your top weather headlines. Steph, you're talking southeast. A nice weekend finally.
It is finally. We are going to see the sunshine here, and it will be dry, and it's been warm as well. Let's first talk about the rainfall. And we have had 6 out of 10 soggy weekends since September in Atlanta. Columbia, it's a 7 out of 10 soggy weekends, but look at tomorrow and Sunday, nothing but sunshine here in the southeast, and our temperatures will be comfortable as well. The reason we're seeing the sunshine is this high pressure coming in. That means air is being suppressed. With a high pressure, winds aloft come in, they go down, and then they evacuate where we are. In order to get clouds and rain, you need it going in the opposite direction, and that's what you get with a low pressure. So we will be seeing that sunshine here. Let's take you down into the southeast right now. 50s and 60s. And by the way, I wanted to mention record highs yesterday. Naples, Orlando, Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Apalachicola. As we head into the weekend, we're not going to see record heat here in the south. We will see mainly the 60s. Atlanta, we are going to be seeing that sunshine. And by the way, places like Miami, it's been on the warm side as well. 188 days with our lows at 70 plus degrees, which is a record. 188, I should say, consecutive days. Still to come this morning, a red flag warning in effect for 2 Los Angeles counties with high winds and dry conditions. And we have extreme fire danger in southern parts of the states. Also, we're worried about rain coming in and causing mudslides. What officials are urging people to do to help cut down on the fire risk. Well, things are ablaze in D.C. at all times, right? The fight between the two parties. Here's a look at the Washington Monument. By the way, it's made of 2 different colors stone. They actually had to stop it at one point due to a war.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Past the hour and waking up to Detroit this morning. Yesterday, our peak wind gusts 52 miles an hour. We're still shaking. I can see that camera shaking here behind us.
We have had hours, more than 12 hours at least, if not close to 24 now for us. And still going today with the strong gusty winds gusting over 20, 30 miles per hour. Possible today over 40 gusts and temperatures in the 40s.
Okay, well, we beat that here in Waukegan, Illinois, 66 miles an hour all the way down into Chicago. We had wind gusts of 51 miles an hour, and that brought the temperatures down. It feels like it's in the 30s for a big chunk of the Midwest now.
It's not just, that we got some cooler temperatures. It's that the wind came in, it made it feel about 10 degrees colder than that. So we're going to see that through today. Temperatures topping out in the 50s and 40s, but knock about 10 degrees off of this, especially up around the lakes. Actually, St. Louis and Kansas City, really not that bad today.
But we're going to see a change. We've had this dip in the jet stream, and then what happens is we're going to see what we call a ridge. So you see how far the jet stream is going to go, and we have a clockwise flow around a high, so we have a southerly flow, which means warmer temperatures.
We've kind of lived a charmed October and November here. I mean, really, temperatures have been pretty nice, and they're going back to nice again this weekend. 56 in Chicago, 66 in Kansas City, above average readings all weekend long.
And those 60s spread eastbound all the way into Detroit as we head into our Sunday. We will see a lot of sunshine as well.
All right, looking good this weekend here. Meanwhile, we're going to get our top stories of the day with Anna Rittis.
That's right. Good morning, ladies, and good morning to you at home. People there in the Great Lakes still cleaning up because they're facing more winds this morning, and they're dealing with downed trees and trying to restore power.
Howling winds battered the Great Lakes. Waves hammered the shores of Lake Michigan. Airports in Chicago and Detroit had to deal with gusts of more than 50 miles per hour. The winds knocked out electricity to more than 60,000 residents in northern Illinois. Another 11,000 lost power in Metro Detroit. Further east in Buffalo, more strong gusts knocked a large tree onto this car. High wind warnings remain in effect there through this afternoon. In California, the National Weather Service has issued fire warnings for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. The area will see gusts of up to 40 miles per hour and very low relative humidity. A red flag warning is in effect until 6 p.m. Friday. Ventura County firefighters have already been busy this week as they fought to contain a 40-acre brush fire, which has now been fully contained. Finally, check this out, a spectacular time-lapse of northern lights above Alaska. Despite a heavy cloud cover, photographer William Briscoe was able to find a clear view and capture an amazing cosmic display.
More northern lights on tap for tonight from Barrow down just north of Juneau. Reynolds, that's really far up there up north.
That's a ways off. I'll definitely grant you that. Oh, no question. Not even on this map, but I'll tell you the lower 48 conditions are going to be spectacular for parts of the Central Plains. Not so much in the Great Lakes. The wind is going to be roaring. You've got the whitecaps along parts of the lakes. It's going to be crazy. Pacific Northwest, wow, crazy start times you're going to have there. The onslaught of the Pacific moisture is going to be a big difference maker in your day on Saturday and Sunday. We're talking rain. Some places maybe up to 10 inches of rain. In the mountain, we're talking maybe 10 feet of snow, maybe even more. Let's talk football for a little bit if we can. Take a look at this game. Auburn and Georgia. The thing amazing about this game, the records between the teams. Auburn has won 55 times. Georgia has won 55 times. They have 8 ties. How about that? In the history of these two programs, it is a bitter rivalry, but it's a friendly rivalry, in my opinion. Take a look at this one. This is a budding rivalry. You've got the Baylor Bears taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Weather conditions not that great here at all. We can expect some scattered showers. At times, maybe some heavy downpours, but in Texas, the real show in terms of heavy rainfall comes next week. On Sunday, we begin to see the showers moving into the Davis and Apache Mountains, into the Permian Basin, but back out to the west, it is all about the snow. Goodness gracious, all the way from parts of the coastals Catskills range, and then back when you get into the Sierra Nevada, and of course right up here into the Cascades, you're going to have just the cavalcade of snow that's going to pile up. Some places it's going to be crazy. Back to pigskin. Can we do that again as we wrap it up? I think we can. Let's do it. East Rutherford, you got the Giants taking on the Patriots. You can expect great conditions, dry conditions with temperatures mainly into the 50s, in the 40s with wet conditions in Seattle for the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Steph, take it away.
All right, Reynolds, thanks for that. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the next storm that we're watching. The potential it has to bring a foot of rain and also a foot of snow into the Pacific Northwest, then drop down to the Mississippi River Valley Tuesday and cause severe weather, and then move to the East Coast. It's going to stay with us all next week. But before we get to next week, hello, snow. Look at all of this coming down. The UP of Michigan. By the way, do you think that looks like a bunny rabbit or a snowmobile? The UP of Michigan. That's where the Yoopers live, and they actually call the people that live in Lower Michigan trolls. I'm not calling you guys trolls. That's what the people in Upper Michigan call the people in Lower Michigan. You're actually seeing some snow too. And by the way, I think some of this rain, we're going to see a little frozen stuff mix in with this as well. It's not only rain, but also wind into the Northeast. So it's going to be a bumpy ride if you have a flight that's traveling around the Great Lakes.
Lowe's presents How to Get What You Want Before the Holidays.
It's the silver one with 4 doors!
Now get up to 40% off major appliances, $396 and more at Lowe's.
The beast was as long as the boat. For 7 hours we did battle, until I said, "You will not beat me!"
Greg, what should I do with your fish?
Gary,
just put it in the cooler.
if you're a fisherman, you tell tales. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Put the fish in the cooler!
Believe it. AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can watch in the house, in a tree house, or even in Miss Pepper Pie's house. Pause in your PJs and hit play during a PB&J. Nice! And enjoy some cartoons instead of listening to Dad's cartoons.
Meet you all the way.
Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
Nestled near uncrowded white sand beaches and pristine nature preserves, you'll discover nearly 90 courses and 500,000 yards of golf paradise. Play where the pros play. In paradise. Naples, Marco Island, the Everglades.
See what everyone's talking about. Health Centers, weeknights at 10 on HGTV.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line wants you to sail away with us. So we're offering an amazing 2-night Bahamas cruise rate of just $109. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100.
On now. What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground. Geek Nights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Welcome. We have 3 Chevys here.
All right.
I want you to place this award on the podium next to the vehicle that you think was ranked highest in initial quality by J.D. Power.
Can I look around at them? Is that...
Highest ranking in initial quality.
It's gotta be this one.
This is it.
You are wrong.
Really?
Actually, it's all 3.
You tricked me.
J.D. Power ranked the Chevy Malibu, Silverado Half-Ton, and Equinox highest in initial quality in their segments.
That's impressive.
I'm very surprised.
I'm very surprised. Chevy hit 3 home runs.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. today. Thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 20 minutes past the top of the hour on this Friday. You're watching AMHQ. Good morning to you. Why do we love our viewers, Reynolds?
They're just great people.
They're awesome.
We get to interact with them too. I mean, with Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing. It's a conversation we have with them.
Especially,
and this has been a big topic.
when we can verify what's happening on radar. Steph was talking about the snow out in Michigan. This is in Wakefield. Check it out.
It's a beautiful thing to see. And, you know, I think so many people, especially in Michigan, live there for several years. My wife is from there. Everyone loves the snow when it first arrives.
Yes.
When you have the snowstorms that occur in early April, they're just done with the snowfall. So this is happy time, smiles.
It again.
The shot in Ashland, Wisconsin's quite beautiful too. Look at that.
Thanks, Cheryl. She sent that out on Twitter. That one out of Michigan. You saw a couple inches on top of those steps. Let's talk about travel. Some snow possible in Buffalo. You guys have been saying in the higher elevation. Not in this stretch of, I believe this is 90, but because of the windy conditions, you want to be aware of those high-profile vehicles and have a firm grip on your wheel.
10 and 2.
Yep, 10
None
and
of this
2.
kind of stuff where you just no. Yeah.
Remember, my driving instructor at the DMV was Bob, and he always gave 87, so I got an 87.
All right, good times, Bob. I wonder, Bob, what do you think about this? He'd probably say be careful because when you go towards Bradford, we're showing a little bit of that freezing precip mix. Stephanie was talking about that possibility, also seeing some high elevation just to the west of Burlington at this hour.
All right.
Should we send it over to Steph? I think we should. Yeah. Steph, your turn.
Hi, Steph. All right, so our next system is what I'm going to talk about here, and I want to talk about all the ingredients that we have setting up. As I show you this checklist, this is more of an X marks the spot. Usually when you see X, that means no, but in this instance, it means yes. So yes, we have shear. This should really be a check, or an X marks the spot. We have shear, lift, instability, and moisture. So we have all the ingredients, just like you might be cooking breakfast right now. You put out all your ingredients first. Are you one of those people? We are all set up. Now, I want to show you something. Let me Vanna White myself, or Vanna Purple myself, I should say, to show you a couple features. First of all, look at the moisture coming all the way from the Pacific. Japan is right here, and we are following this plume of moisture shooting all the way into the Pacific Northwest. And then you see this counterclockwise spin, this low pressure. These are going to do a mashup. And who doesn't love a good mashup when it comes to music? Well, let me tell you, we're not really going to love this mashup here because it brings the threat of severe weather as this upper low drops into the plains. But first, it's going to bring rain into the Northwest. We're talking a foot of rain, and then we're talking a foot of snow. We could see 12 to 15 feet of snow. Okay, so several feet of snow in the Northwest, but we're going to focus in on the severe weather here. Now, there's a lot of arrows shooting around. What you need to know is when our arrows cross like this perpendicular, that means that there's shear in the atmosphere, and that means spin. So we could see some severe weather. This is our CAPE, our oomph in the atmosphere. Wow, they actually updated this Monday evening. That CAPE is a little bit higher, anywhere from Dallas into Houston. This is our oomph in the atmosphere. So you need that in order to get severe weather. You need the spin, which is a shear. You need the oomph, and we do have that threat for severe weather. First Monday, central into western Texas and the Red River Valley. Then it's going to shift eastbound. Our torcons are 3, and they're going to uptick as we have all those ingredients coming over that area where our CAPE is a little bit higher. That's where we have that uptick in our severe weather event. So still, we have that shear, right? We have the crossing of the winds, check. We have the moisture, we know that, check. We have the CAPE, which is the oomph, check, the instability. So we do have an uptick in our severe weather. It's going to spread out, and we actually have 4 on our torcons here into Texas. Now, we're going to keep it into the southern plains and into Dallas, but Reynolds, first let's get through the weekend before we have to deal with this.
Absolutely. What we're going to be getting in Dallas is really a beautiful day, and we've got peerless skies, few high, thin clouds, but no rainmakers for now. Kind of a chilly start. Temperatures starting off in the mid-40s. We're going to top out into the mid-60s later today under partly cloudy skies, but what a change we're going to be dealing with. There's a chance of rain and showers tomorrow, and that's going to be the buildup that Stephanie was talking about. Again, Monday into Tuesday into Wednesday's when that beast is going to wake up, when the line's going to shake its mane and roar. But it's going to be the next 12 hours. We're going to see some of those clouds moving across places like Waco, Texas, where you have a good chance of rain throughout the big game. Plenty of sunshine in Oklahoma City and back into Dallas. Plenty of sunshine, too. So we go from Saturday and Sunday. Both ends will involve some rainfall. The rain becoming far more expansive when we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Folks, you are watching AMHQ. We've got so many more weather stories to share with you, including the rough stuff across the Midwest. Sit tight. We'll see you soon.
This driving difficulty index brought to you by Subaru. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Some days are full of surprises. Makes it kind of hard to plan. So before I head out on the road, I check the driving difficulty index for hazardous conditions so I know what to expect. One less thing to worry about.
To get your road conditions, go to weather.com/DDI. Brought to you by Subaru.
You can check on them. You can worry about them. You can even choose a car for them.
Honey, are you okay? I'm okay.
Love.
We're okay.
It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
If I want to go up,
Hello.
if I want to go down, but then if I want to come back again, it's perfect. Now that we've added adjustable base, my favorite part is to be able to lift your legs up a little bit, lift the head up a little bit, and it feels like I'm just cradled.
I love the adjustable bed because I love it when I'm watching TV.
And there you have it.
And now, through December 1st, save hundreds on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses and adjustable bases. Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
I love you. Love you too.
One minute. Hi. We need to do this, yes.
Letting go.
Don't say a word.
It's a little easier when you've saved for college with State Farm.
How do you host the holidays? Do you plan for a crowd? Or prep for a few? Do you aisle hop? Or window shop? Stick with tradition or mix things up? Do you warm up by the fire or by the dryer? Bake it or buy it? However you build cheer, Black Friday savings are already here. Let's do this. Get this LG or Maytag washer, your choice, just $4.99 each. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
If you could see your cough,
It's just a cough.
you'd see how often you cough all day, and so would everyone else. New Robitussin 12 Hour delivers fast, powerful cough relief that lasts up to 12 hours. New Robitussin 12 Hour cough relief, because it's never just a cough.
Took you so long.
Duracell Quantum lasts longer in 99% of devices, so you can power imagination all day long.
Look at you, saving money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. At Walgreens, we call that Carpe Med Diem. That's almost Latin for seize the day to get more out of life and Medicare Part D. From $1 copays on select plans to now reward points on all prescriptions. Walgreens has you covered. So drop by and seize the savings. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Eggland's Best Eggs.
There's only one egg that just tastes better, with more vitamins and 25% less saturated fat. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
It's time now for our big picture here at 29 past the hour, and we're going to show you our 3 big stories, and then we're going to break them all down and let you know how they'll affect you today and then for the coming week as well. So our low pressure that brought all the winds into the Midwest, now moving into the Northeast, bringing the winds and the frozen stuff as well. Snow is really starting to come down actually in Michigan. Thanks for sending in your twit pictures with that. And then our next system is starting into the Northwest today, and it's going to bring a foot of rain, and we're talking 11 to maybe 14 feet of snow into the highest peaks of Rainier. Then as we head into our Monday, Tuesday time frame, it's in the center of the country and it continues to move east. We continue to roll on here on AMHQ. Welcome back into the show. So the story is we're in an active pattern here.
Indeed.
We lose one system and we have another one that dives right back in.
Yeah, it's an assembly line. You know, one storm system after another, and right now it's on the Great Lakes. We're seeing this incredible feature. The winds off the lakes are so strong, Stephanie, it's causing this river that you see right there to flow in the opposite direction. That's the St. Joe's River. And normally this time of year you have guys that go there and they fish for the steelhead, this huge fish. Not going to happen on a day like today. I would not wet a line in that kind of water.
Here's the thing, when you're looking at it, you're like, well, that doesn't look odd, but the river should be going from the right-hand side of your screen to the left-hand side.
Yes, absolutely.
And not to mention how big those waves are on a river, Reynolds. This is a river, not a lake. And look at the water going all the way up to those homes.
That is a little creepy. And there's that one dude that was in the foreground on the far right-hand corner of the screen. I hope it doesn't get too close to that water.
Exactly.
That's not good times.
Okay, so the system that caused a river to go in the wrong direction is now moving into the Northeast. But I want to show you our visible satellite imagery, okay? So here's a look at this. Now, to the untrained eye, you're just like, so what? It's a bunch of cloud cover, Abrams. No. Focus in with me here. 2 seconds while you're tying your shoes. This is the eye of this system. A low pressure. It was in the 980s for all my meteorologists out there. What that means is the lower the number is with our pressure, the stronger the storm. And when you hear eye, you typically think of a hurricane. They're both low pressures. One's tropical and one is mid-latitude synoptic scale. And by the way, this in size is actually much bigger than a hurricane. So let's have a look at the winds here. Oh, first of all, I got to mention the snow. It's really coming down there. We're starting to get pictures on Twitter. We're loving that stuff. Anyhow, this low pressure, here's the occluded front. This indicates that it's tapping into its 401k. It's starting to retire. It's starting to, wind down. But it's not going to leave without bringing us some screaming winds here, especially off the lake. So places like Buffalo, you're going to see some significant wind gusts. And that's all because our isobars, these white lines, they're packed close together. So the closer these are together, opposed to, say, over towards the plains, you see how they're a little more spread out, then the gustier the winds are. So here we go, especially when you have those winds coming over the lakes, there's less friction over water, and so they just some screaming off those puppies there. So right along the lake shore, that's why you have stronger winds. Buffalo, I think you could see a little snow mixed in. Hour by hour, the winds get into the Northeast. Even if you don't live in this area, if you're flying through, I do think we're going to see some turbulence here, so that is going to slow you down. And Jen has been mentioning all morning, which is so true. It's not a matter of just having a 20-mile wind, 50-mile. It's having it for 6 hours or 24 hours.
A couple hours worth of wind is one thing, right? But to have 24 hours, and for some of you, it's going to end up being 36 hours worth of this kind of wind. And guess what? We're going to do it all over again next week for some of the same spots. So let's track what's coming next. We're going to start off in the Gulf of Alaska. This is a beautiful storm. When you look at it from this water vapor perspective, it's not so great if you're underneath the stormy weather, right? But from this perspective, you see the speckly look to the clouds here or the water vapor, and that's indicating some cold air that we have in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. Lots of moisture moisture streaming right here into Washington State. And the National Weather Service estimating this is about double the amount of moisture we normally have that is pushing right towards the coast. So we are certainly concerned about the heavy amounts of precip. We're going to track the spin. That's what these brighter colors are alluding to, where we have the spin in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. That's the energy that's going to drive precipitation. We'll see it dive all the way down through the west, including California. Some rain coming to you, some mountain snow there. But by Wednesday, this thing gets cut off and it's stuck. It's an area of low pressure that gets cut off and stuck right here across the heartland. So we are going to be looking for several days worth of active weather. It will mean snow in Colorado and parts of New Mexico. It also will mean rain and possible thunderstorms and possible severe weather into Texas. So see, this is where we're going to have moisture returning, high amounts of moisture returning back to Texas. A lot of it will come from the Gulf of Mexico. So not just Pacific moisture swinging in, but also Gulf of Mexico moisture swinging up. And it's going to mean 3 to 5 inches worth of rain coming into parts of the Mississippi Valley. All right, let's look at the next big weather maker coming in. And Ritis, take us coast to coast.
Good morning, Jen, and good morning to you at home. We talk about California and the firefight there. Ventura County firefighters move in on a brush fire that quickly spread to 40 acres in high winds. This is a nighttime video of crews dropping water on the flames. They use night vision goggles to fly these Firehawk helicopters. The fire was fully contained just before midnight, but with Santa Ana winds continuing today, firefighters have to stay on the lookout for the next one. And a surprise heat wave smacked the Italian side of the Alps Thursday, causing a few problems for ski resorts. Look at this. In Plan Mason, more than 8,000 feet up at the foot of the Matterhorn, there's hardly any snow. The temperature read an unseasonably warm 77 degrees. And according to Italian meteorologists, those are levels that are normally seen in July. We're back after your local on the 8s.
If my hands are dried and cracked, I can't do my job efficiently.
My hands are dry from washing my hands lots of times a day.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry, cracked hands.
O'Keefe's works.
I saw it working for my husband, and I knew I had to try it.
Learn more at o'keefescompany.com.
I try hard to get a great shape. This I can do easily. Benefiber Healthy Shape helps curb cravings. It's a clear, taste-free daily supplement that's clinically shown to help keep me fuller longer. Benefiber Healthy Shape. This I can do.
Nexium 24 Hour is the new #1 selling frequent heartburn brand in America.
I hope you like it spicy.
Get complete protection with the purple pill, the new leader in frequent heartburn. That's Nexium level protection.
Sleep. Remember when it welcomed you like a friend? Then it became more elusive. But why? When you have insomnia, it may affect the wake neurotransmitters in your brain, disrupting your wake and sleep messages. Balsamra is a prescription medicine for adults who have trouble falling or staying asleep. Balsamra is thought to help turn down wake messages by targeting and inhibiting the action of orexin, a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in sending wake messages. Only Balsamra works this way.
Do not take Balsamra if you have narcolepsy. When taking Balsamra, don't drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Balsamra should not be taken together with alcohol. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. The temporary inability to move while falling asleep or waking up and temporary leg weakness have also been reported. In depressed patients, worsening depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Side effects include next-day drowsiness.
Sleep. Ask your doctor about Balsamra.
The Citi Double Cash Card comes in very handy with cash back twice. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
As introductions go, this is a name you don't want to forget. The Ram ProMaster City. It speaks volumes. It speaks in deep, multi-purpose ways that will leave you in control of the conversation wherever you go.
Big savings on brakes have arrived at Pep Boys.
This week only, get $40 off any brake service package starting at $99.99. So go ahead and schedule a same-day appointment at your local Pep Boys today. Trust the boys to get you there.
Thursdays on the Weather Channel. When nature is this dangerous, only one question matters. Oh my God! So you think you'd survive? Thursdays at 10, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And if you have not seen what happened yesterday, why Jen has her hand on this, go to your Facebook page, my Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and you'll see why she's holding on to the football
in studio anymore. All right, we're getting you ready, though, for your football this weekend, Sunday, Week 10 in the NFL.
Paul, Mom's not watching real quick here.
Oh, yes. All right.
No, I don't want to push our luck with all the monitors.
I know. We have a lot of toys we could break around here. Let's talk about football here. Week 10, and a couple of games impacted by weather, especially out towards the West Coast. The storm's pounding the West Coast. Let's take you to Oakland. We're going to take in the Vikings heading in to take on the Oakland Raiders and win. Look at the forecast here. Throughout the game, winds sustained over 20 miles per hour at times, gusting perhaps close to 30. So that's a huge impact on the passing and the kicking game. Let's talk about passing. Bridgewater, injured, concussion, expected to play, but definitely perhaps a game time decision here. But if he does play, his QBR rating so far in windy games, 7 career windy games, 84.2. 7 TDs and 5 INTs. Now, if he doesn't start, then the start will go to Hill. His QBR rating is very similar to Bridgewater's. Again, 6 TDs, 1 INT in 7 career games in the wind. On the other side of the ball, the hometown favorite, DC, Derek Carr, looking really good this year. His QBR rating a little bit lower, but more yards he's throwing for. Now, again, who will they be putting the ball in their hands? Of course, AP, Adrian Peterson. Again, a great stats in terms of windy games, 14 career windy games, almost 100 yards on the ground. Again, the ground game more important than the passing game. But on the other side, DC throws to AC, Amari Cooper. Yes, a fantastic year for this rookie, but only 2 career games in the wind here. But again, the passing game not nearly important as the run game. And again, the forecast is for a very windy game. So the Raiders, I forecast because of the forecast, I'm predicting them to lose to the Minnesota Vikings because of the windy game on Sunday.
But it always comes down to the kicker, don't you think?
Well, and the weather comes down to the weather impacting the players.
That it does, Paul. I love your analysis. I really do. I really enjoy it. I don't know if we should. We're really pressing our luck now with this whole football thing. All right. Yes. I'm going to pass it over to you guys. They're like, please don't, Abrams. You're right. 2 moms over there.
I'm like monitors everywhere, cameras everywhere. Don't break a window.
Good thing she doesn't have butter hands, so that's good.
They're still going.
Let's talk about your travel. Old Man Winter knocking on the door of the people in Wisconsin. We've got some pictures to prove it. This is coming out of Ashland. A nice, good coating of snow there. Those look like big, fat flakes. Is it just me?
And wet, too. It looks like the trees, it's sticking nicely to the trees. Looks like the roads are in pretty good shape. And mountains have been between 4 and 10 inches. We had a report of 6 inches in 8 hours up here, so that's a big deal. Look at the radar filling in. You can see up in northern Michigan, in the UP of Michigan, Ironwood is where that report came in, and just to the south and east of Marquette, that's where you actually get that steadier band. So all that's in roads are snow covered in northern Wisconsin, so they're slippery stretches. Be careful up there, Steph.
All right, Steph.
All right, well, my friend Al Roker is finishing up today, breaking another world record. He did 34 straight hours of weather last year. This year, he took to the road. Al.
Hey, Steph, how you doing? Well, we're just about done. Number 49, state of Connecticut. I am right now in my own state of confusion and delirium, but I'm going to be getting on the Metro North, heading into Grand Central, and New York City will be able to do number 50, New York State, and that will be all 50 states and the District of Columbia. It's been a great odyssey. We had some wet weather, some nasty weather last night from Boston on into New England, but we met so many wonderful people who were standing out in the cold, standing out in the wind, and we had one diversion because of snow. But it's been a great trip. I've never had a better time and met so many great people. So, next year you can come out with me. We'll do this thing together. And of course, we won't be actually together. We'll be on separate planes. But no, only kidding. I miss you. And for all of your viewers who are watching, please go to today.com/Rokerthon and help donate to Feeding America so we can help the hungry during this holiday season. That's it. Rokerthon 2 in the books. Baby, I am ready to knock out.
I bet you are, Roker. Congratulations, mwah. And also for such a great cause. And Reynolds, how did I know he'd invite me on the next one, but, make me on another plane or in the back,
Absolutely. Just as long as you're involved there.
I'm okay with that.
You got to love Al. Hey, you got to love this forecast, too. We've got some beautiful conditions across the Central Plains, not so much in the Great Plains, though. I mean, at least in the Great Lakes. On Saturday, we have better conditions in the Great Lakes, but the beginning of rough weather in the Pacific Northwest, that's going to launch its way into the Central Plains by early next week. You're watching AMHQ, folks. We've got so much more coming up on the other side of this commercial break.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
This holiday season,
I want everyone to have a perfect Christmas.
Some feel the pressure.
Be my boyfriend for one night.
Some feel the joy. But everybody feels the love.
We are family.
Cheers. Love the Coopers. Rated PG-13.
How the Duluth Fire Hose Shirt Jack got concocted. It took tough. And toasty. And some cozy. It also took technique. The Duluth Trading Fire Hose Shirt Jack. The toughest, toastiest, mightiest shirt known to man. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
We found lower copays.
And a free wellness visit. New plan, same doctor. I'm happy.
It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet?
It's easy at Medicare.gov.
Or you can call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Medicare open enrollment. You'll never know unless you go.
I did it. You can too.
I just had a horrible nightmare. My company's entire network went down and I was home in bed unaware. But that would never happen. Comcast Business monitors my company's network 24 hours a day and calls and emails me if something like this scary storm takes it offline, so I can rest easy. What, you don't have a desk bed?
Don't be left in the dark. Get proactive alerts 24/7. Comcast Business, built for business.
Turn your wishes into reality during the Wish List Sales Event at Alpacker Lincoln. For a limited time, enjoy incredible savings on Lincoln's most popular models, like a new 2016 Lincoln MKX, just $369 a month, or a 2015 Lincoln Navigator, just $589 a month. Turn your wishes into reality during the wish list sales event at Alpacker Lincoln on Military Trail. And remember,
before you ride, Price Packer.
7-3. We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week. AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Where's the rain that's happening right now as you walk out the door?
A lot of people traveling, but we'll keep an eye on it for you.
Because the weather impacts your day in 100 ways you see and 1,000 ways you don't.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
So include us in your routine.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Definitely an oh wow moment. Check this out. This is not the opening of a science fiction movie. It is a time lapse of the Northern Lights.
This happened way up there in Hatcher Pass, Alaska. Photographer William Briscoe says this was last Friday during a geomagnetic storm.
That's right. NOAA tells us that a minor geomagnetic storms were expected that day after an interplanetary shock hit the ACE spacecraft and then arrived at the Earth, which created this definitely amazing scene.
They can expect more incredible, amazing cosmic displays. If you're living in Juneau or Barrow,
that's where you go and
that's on your first date. That's where you want to go.
Yeah, yeah, on your first date.
Someone took me on a first date. I might be like, put a ring on it. Yes, thank you. It's like, put a ring on it. All right, let's talk about our next storm that's coming through. And some of the moisture is actually originating from almost in Japan. So here's Japan, and what we're going to do is follow this moisture all the way to the Pacific Northwest.
But while we were looking at that, we started looking at this. Yes. So this is just really cool. We're going to take a moment and try to figure out what's going on here. We've got our strong jet right up here, the subtropical jet right down here, and right in between, Steph, I think you're right spot on with this. We're seeing sort of these waves, instability waves.
Yes, and so we're going to dissect that a little bit more. This just happened, and so we were trying to guess exactly what was causing it, and Jen was saying I was right because I think it has to do with the two jets. But we need to talk about the moisture going into the Northwest.
We certainly do. All right, so let's talk about that. We've got moisture, and it's a lot of moisture here. And then plus we've got this very strong low pressure right up here in the Gulf of Alaska. The energy from this is going to use this moisture and drag it all the way down, and we will see active weather from the west coast to the plains this week.
Okay, so here's our huge trough, and this is basically our oomph in the atmosphere. This is like the actual super soaker, and then we take that stream of moisture I showed you and put it in the super soaker, and we blast the northwest and then bring severe weather to the south.
And it's pretty powerful too. So we're going to see this area of low pressure now in our jet stream get cut off. It's a upper level low that's cut off and sticks around for several days. So we're going to see active weather for several days from the Rockies to the plains in the form of snow and severe weather. But first,
12 inches of rain, and then we're talking 12 feet of snow into places like Mount Rainier. There is a disclaimer. There is a star.
14,000 feet.
Okay.
All right. So it's up there. But
still fun.
But still, can you imagine 100+ inches of snow as your forecast for the weekend? Here you go.
That's what we are going to see here.
We'll do for you.
So there we go. 40 today, Saturday 17, and it just is relentless. Goes all the way through Wednesday. It's really going to pile up. They average about 50 feet of snow. You were saying 600 inches, which is about 50 feet of snow.
All right.
For
so
a year.
and we don't actually get measurements up that high either. So we are giving you some estimates, but nonetheless, you get a sense of the moisture and the energy involved up here, right? All right. I like to be exact.
Yes.
But we are going to be looking for, by the time we get through the weekend, the jet stream digging out here through the Rockies, surface low developing, just like last week, and we're going to see snow in places like Denver, thunderstorms in places like Dallas.
Yeah, and the reason being is we have that surface flow coming up like this, and the upper level winds kind of coming across it. Maybe red isn't the best color for it. You're going to give me white? Okay, so when you have the crisscross of our winds like this, that's okay.
I'm going to give you white
when you have a crisscross of winds like that, that means you have shear in the atmosphere, and that's some spin. We have the moisture, we have CAPE, which is the oomph in the atmosphere. So all of our ingredients, maybe you have all your ingredients out for French toast this morning, they're all coming together, and that's what was going to cause
Here we go, in white. This is where we're going to be looking for by the time we get into Tuesday, the Mississippi Valley, and this is where things kind of get stuck. So for a couple of days now, we have all that in one place.
I don't know, I think it's cool that you might be on the East Coast right now dealing with our storm system that's exiting, and then you're going to see something that's kind of originating, some of it is, from Japan right now. So it's kind of cool to see the evolution of this all the way to the East Coast.
I always love the link around the world. We're all connected.
All right, so let's have one last look at our big forecast as you head out the door. And I mentioned the system in the Northeast. So we have to deal with this, the rain, the wind, and even some snow before we get to this next system.
Yes, so we've got very strong gusty winds out there still blowing around those trees in your backyard today. Then the next one comes in, as we talked about, big rain. We are concerned about flooding. This is going to be drenching us in western Washington today.
Right, then it drops down into the center of the country as we head into our Monday, Tuesday time frame, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, this is going to be all the way to the East Coast.
All right, up next, Weather Center Live, Jen Delgado, Chris Warren. I know you guys got to be talking West Coast.
Oh, we're absolutely talking West Coast. We're going to be looking at the snowfall amounts for Mount Rainier, and of course, we're also going to be following the strong winds in the Northeast.
And we're going to talk to Crystal Egger from KMBC, talk about the Santa Anas and the fire danger there. Also, we're talking about what you guys were just talking about, what's happening in the Pacific. But we have medium range forecasting specialist, Dr. Greg Postel.
We have a doctor in the house.
And it's Friday. If you haven't seen Sir Gregory on a Friday.
And he's awesome. Is he in rare form?
Yes, he's in rare form on Friday.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Everyone have a good weekend. We'll see you here Monday. Nice. He's stretching it out.
I use what's already inside me to reach my goals. So I like when my doctor told me I may reach my blood sugar and A1C goals by activating what's within me. With once weekly Trulicity. Trulicity is not insulin. It helps activate my body to do what it's supposed to do, release its own insulin. Trulicity responds when my blood sugar rises. I take it once a week, and it works 24/7. It comes in an easy-to-use pen. And I may even lose a little weight.
Trulicity is a once-weekly injectable prescription medicine to improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes. It should be used along with diet and exercise. Trulicity is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes and should not be used by people with severe stomach or intestinal problems, or people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Trulicity is not insulin and has not been studied with long-acting insulin. Do not take Trulicity if you or anyone in your family has had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Trulicity or its ingredients. Stop using Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of an allergic reaction, such as itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which may include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Medicines like Trulicity may cause stomach problems, which could be severe. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and any medicines you take. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, decreased appetite, and indigestion. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure.
With Trulicity, I click to activate what's within me.
If you want help improving your A1C and blood sugar numbers with a non-insulin option, ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity and click to activate your within.
If I want to go up,
hello.
If I want to go down, but then if I want to come back again, it's perfect. Now that we've added adjustable base, my favorite part is to be able to lift your legs up a little bit, lift the head up a little bit, and it feels like I'm just cradled.
Save up to $300 instantly on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus add an adjustable base and receive up to a $300 Tempur-Pedic Visa prepaid card by mail.
And there you have it.
Visit Mattress Firm, America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer today, and sleep happy tonight.
This is Henry. Expertise, staining carpet. It is his life's work. He is relentless. He is resourceful. But this is new life-proof carpet from the Home Depot, with stain-resistant technology built in to help keep tough stains out. Checkmate, Henry. Let's do this. Save 10% on any carpet purchase when you use your Home Depot Consumer Credit Card. Only at the Home Depot.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord, help us.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I mean, it's just rain and rain and rain and rain and rain.
But this isn't the ocean. This isn't a lake. This isn't a river. This is someone's parking lot.
Let me just show you guys this. This is a kitchen of a house. It is crazy. I have never seen anything like this before.
It was very slick. I was actually getting very worried about the conditions.
I was like driving home and like I could just feel the wind like kind of like swaying my car a little bit.
All right, so it's one thing to feel the wind when you're in your car, but what about feeling the lake water hit your car?
Oh, I know. And see, in that kite flyer out there,
you
right?
You finally got your surfer. The kite surfer out there on the lake. This is Weather Center Live. What a week it has been in weather. Not over yet.
No, not over by any means, because we're still tracking the winds. We still have updated reports on some of those tornadoes and so much more because we have severe weather threat coming up for next week.
And good for us today, we have storm specialist, medium range forecasting expert, Dr. Greg Postel on this
You forgot
Friday.
colorful shirt wearing.
Colorful shirt wearing.
Yeah.
Different color today. Why not?
Yeah, you keep it mixing it out.
Let's mix it up.
Hey, what are you excited to talk about in the next few hours?
We have a ton of stuff. We have a huge storm system coming in next week. Hopefully not a repeat of what we saw just a couple days ago, but I think we're going to see all kinds of things from winter weather to severe weather across the southern part of the U.S.
Could pose some new challenges as well.
Absolutely,
some
yeah.
new areas.
Foot of snow in some parts too. Crazy.
And then some.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to that in just a moment, but strong winds really making for some rough weather around the whole Great Lakes region, really. We want to show you some of the reports here.
Yeah, you know, last night we were looking at the western part of the Great Lakes, and now we see that low is over towards the east, just spinning to the north of Burlington. You can see the rain, and on the backside, we're still looking at some of that lake effect that's popping up. And as we show you on the radar and the storm reports, those are all wind damage. And when you have wind gusts at 60 miles per hour, it's no surprise when you see things like this.
Yeah, quite a bit of action. What do you say we take a closer look at some of this video, you guys? Let's start off with St. Joseph here in Michigan. And this is a look at this. That's the lake on the right. You're driving along. you're close to the lake anyways, but the wind's going all the way across the lake, and whack. Woo! Look at that.
Driving through that. I mean, you got the rain, and then you got the water.
But here's the question. It's hard to say if there's even rain at this moment. The windshield wipers could be on just because of the lake spray.
It could be.
That is an angry lake. I mean, it really is, with a strong west wind at 30 to 50 miles per hour.
If you imagine if it had been colder, some of the spray and the ice that we would have seen on there, woo, that would have been pretty cool.
So this is a new piece of video here. What you're looking at, this is actually a river, and it looks like you have swells in the river, but what's going on, they're going the opposite direction of the way the river usually flows.
Yeah, because it normally blows, I think he said, from right to left.
Right, yeah, it flows. It flows. But the wind blowing from left to right is pushing the water.
Yep. Pushing all the water back upstream.
Back upstream.
Yeah. That's pretty
The people there said that was quite a big change. They've never seen that in quite a while.
Yeah, that's something else, isn't it?
It is. Well, the winds also caused problems further to the east in Buffalo, New York. Strong gusts knocked a large tree onto this car. We're showing you the video. Here it is. You can see the car didn't win on this one. This is after wind gusts of 57 miles per hour. Now, wind advisory remains in effect until later this afternoon. Winds are still expected to gust up to 50 miles per hour today.
All right, let's get some local perspective from the Buffalo National Weather Service office. David Church is joining us from that area. And David, thank you for your time. And what do you think right now? We look at the damage, you look at some of the weather reports. What's standing out to you? What are you finding most interesting with what's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think the most interesting thing we've seen, really the best push of wind we had was yesterday afternoon right behind the cold front. And I think what really got a lot of people's attention in the Buffalo area here was the big swell on Lake Erie that came down. Basically, there was a big seiche, as we would call it, which is when you get the big rise in lake waters on the eastern end of the lake here. So I was watching some of the footage were showing up there, and that's sort of what people are really talking about, the big waves crashing over the roadway there, shut down part of Highway 5 going south of Buffalo, where the waves were just crashing over the road, and eventually we're getting debris up on the road off the lake and waves in the road, so they ended up having to close that down. So that was pretty impressive event. When the lake levels rose that quickly yesterday afternoon. And then we did see a fair amount of damage in the city of Buffalo, numerous trees down around town, numerous power outages. So certainly the wind inland even, and then also the big waves along the coast.
And you know, David, let me ask you this very quickly. How does this compare to seeing anything else you've seen, especially for this time of the year? Do you expect this in the spring or?
Well, this is a pretty good November storm for us. We do usually a pretty windy area in the fall, but to get a storm this strong in November, it doesn't come around too often. Once we get into December, it gets to be a little more common. But certainly, this is actually just my second year here in the Buffalo office, so I'm still getting a good feel for how impressive these storms can be in November here.
And we know there's a lot of impressive weather in Buffalo. David Church from the National Weather Service office there in Buffalo, we appreciate it. And Jen, as we look at the water vapor, you can really see that swirl now as it's moving through.
Right. You know, how lucky is he to be in Buffalo? He's going to see so many different extremes there. And we show you what's happening on the water vapor. There is our swirl. There's our low. And we're still seeing those strong winds. Even on the backside of that, we're going to look at the potential for some of that lake effect snow to set up. But here's the problem. What we have is the area low pressure in the ridge, and this is creating all the tension. We pointed out anytime you see those tight white lines, that's what creates the stronger winds. Now, we show you the gusty winds that are going to be in the forecast. Now, as we move that ahead and we kind of advance it in through the afternoon and the daytime, that low is eventually going to pull away, but it's still going to be windy even through tomorrow for some of these big cities right along Interstate 95. The forecast showing you those gusts 40 to 50 as we go through the morning as well as even through the afternoon. And look at New York and Philadelphia, even into Boston. It is going to feel much cooler, especially with those strong winds coming in from the northwest, Chris.
All right, and now to the Pacific Northwest, from the northeast to the northwest. We're watching for the potential of feet, not just of snow, but also in some areas of rain. Here's a live look right now at a soggy Seattle.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Once upon a time, there was a nice house that lived with a family. One day, it started to rain and rain. Water got inside and ruined everybody's everythings. The house thought she let the family down, but the family just didn't think a flood could ever happen.
The reality is, floods do happen. Protect what matters. Get flood insurance. Visit floodsmart.gov/flood to learn more.
Big savings on brakes have arrived at Pep Boys. This week only, get $40 off any brake service package starting at $99.99. So go ahead and schedule a same-day appointment at your local Pep Boys today. Trust the boys to get you there.
This monarchy is out of control. Out of control.
Your father would be disappointed in you. Why don't you tell me who my father is, and then we'll see about that.
I'm done being a pawn in other people's games.
What is it with this family?
The Royals premieres Sunday at 10 on E! And catch up on demand.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Snowman While Eating a Turkey Leg.
Now get these GE Christmas lights for only $9.98 at Lowe's.
Coughing, sniffling, and wishing you could stay in bed all day. When your cold is this bad, you need new Theraflu Express Max. Theraflu Express Max combines maximum strength medicines available without a prescription to fight your worst cold and flu symptoms, so you can feel better fast and get back to the job at hand. New Theraflu Express Max, the power to feel better.
What kind of people are we dealing with here? You tell. I need a theory.
One man will go to the ends of the earth.
Maybe I'm chasing something.
To experience life on the edge. But some places you can only find in a Jeep Renegade. Because in a Jeep Renegade, the only law that matters is gravity. Discover a more extreme life at the Jeep Black Friday Blockbuster Sales Event on now. And see Point Break in theaters this Christmas.
Right now, this is a live and good-looking look here at both Philadelphia on the left and on the right-hand side of your screen. That is Boston, the beautiful city of Boston, where temperatures are not too bad right now, but we're going to feel that cool air and the wind in the Northeast. So let's take a look right now at what's going on and then what you can expect throughout the next couple of days here. As we look at your forecast in the Northeast, we can see here that area of low pressure moving out, but some lingering showers throughout parts of New England and some cold air behind it. You see some snow falling there in the upper peninsula of Michigan. This is your forecast, your weekend forecast. Now, you're going to feel that cool air once that low gets by, because this is Saturday, and even though you have sunshine, these are high temperatures in the 40s. That is going to be as as warm as it gets, mid-40s in some cases. This is a look now at your Sunday forecast, warming up just a little bit. In fact, after the 40s, Jen, for highs, I would imagine close to 60 degrees in New York would feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And with more tolerable winds, that's going to make everything and make a big difference. How about we say hello to Chris Warren's dad in Seattle? Say hello.
And mom.
And mom.
And brother.
And maybe I was saying hello to mom to the next hour, giving her her
What
own
if
hour.
she doesn't watch it next hour?
She may not. All right. Hello, mom and dad.
And you can call her Margie. Margie and Bill.
Hey, Mama Margie. 56 degrees right now in Seattle. Light rain, and you can see it is on the lens, and it's going to be windy. You can kind of see the camera blowing around as we go through the afternoon. Even by the evening hours, we'll really kind of start to see those winds starting to diminish. But let's show you what's going to be happening on the radar. Maybe, can you back me up on the radar over there, Adam? Because I want to show you where the heaviest rainfall is. It's mostly in the areas up towards the north right now. Coming down, this is from Seattle, even down towards parts of Portland. But if you notice this little blue spot, I know it's kind of hard to see because my graphic's kind of hiding it, but that's Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier, you're going to see that snow just piling up. You're potentially going to be looking at a foot of snowfall, but right along Interstate 5 and over towards the west, that's where the heaviest rainfall is. It's going to be hard to go into work today. As we show you, we go down towards the south, Portland, lighter stuff for you, and the same for areas, including just right along 84, but over towards the east, you can see in the northern parts of the Rockies, Intermountain West, down there, we're all going to be looking at potentially some of that heavier snowfall working in, and this is all going to last as we go through Sunday, and we're really going to look at this wet period as we go through Wednesday of next week. Some of these locations, a foot of rainfall. You can already see that moisture stream pulling into areas, including parts of Seattle. There is our strong low that is also going to be playing into our severe weather threat as we head into the middle of next week and early next week in addition to that. So here's the upper level low, the strong winds. This is all going to be coming down to towns and down towards the southwest. But before that, disturbances are just going to continue to roll in to parts of the Pacific Northwest, indicating where the heaviest rainfall is going to be from Medford, Seattle, as well as just to the southeast of Portland. That's the forecast as we go through Wednesday, and a lot of these flash flood warnings are going to last until Sunday morning. So for more, we turn it over to Chris.
Yeah, and we're going to show you the areas mainly in western Washington where there are flash flood watches currently in place right now, and you can see this here, and you see how it just kind of ends. It's this area. The reason for that, these are the Cascade Mountains, so you have downsloping winds. This tends to be much drier, and if you make the drive from west to east or east to west, you're going to notice a huge change in terrain. And this also really shows you where it has been so dry. You have the Cascade Mountains and to some degree the Olympic Mountains and the Coast Range in Oregon really essentially use up or squeeze out a lot of the moisture that comes on shore, and a lot of it doesn't make it east of the Cascades. And then you look at this, most of the rain, as Jen was just showing us, is going to be happening and is happening in western Washington, some of the mountains here in Oregon, and some of it will get into parts of the northeast mountains in Washington, North Idaho, and Montana. But this is the forecast today through the weekend. It is going to be an onslaught of rain with the mountains getting hit pretty hard. Snow levels, while they're relatively high, you're going to see mainly rain, and then that changes. Snow levels coming down, and then we're going to see a lot of snow. Mount Rainier and even some of the lower elevations in the Cascades, Jen.
All right, we're going to be watching out for the snowfall, but we're also tracking the potential for severe weather next week. We have a doctor in the house. His name is Greg Postel. We're going to be breaking it down right after the break.
Lisa! It took you so long.
Duracell Quantum lasts longer in 99% of devices, so you can power imagination all day long.
You get a cold. You can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. Well, just put on a Breathe Right strip, which instantly opens your nose up to 38% more than cold medicine alone. Shut your mouth and say goodnight, mouth breathers. Breathe Right.
Once upon a time, there was Steve and me. Then came our sweet little Molly. And a few years later, there was just me and Molly.
Life doesn't always go as planned.
Fortunately, Steve planned for the unexpected, and Molly and I were taken care of. United of Omaha was there for us.
At United of Omaha, we serve families with care and compassion in their time of need. We pay the majority of claims within a week.
After all this time, Steve is still taking care of us.
Call now, and we'll make it easy to protect your family with $500,000 of term life insurance for as little as $13.78 a month. If you lose your job, we'll cover your premiums for up to 6 months.
The most beautiful thing about life is It goes on.
Life insurance is essential. Mutual of Omaha. Insure your possibilities. Call us or your local agent today.
I'm Mike Bettis. That's Sarah. Welcome to the set of a brand new show, Weather Underground. There'll be experts, bloggers, the smartest weather minds in the business on every screen you have 24 hours a day. Geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at
The Now South Florida, a show that has a finger on the pulse of what's happening right now. It's fast-paced, upbeat, usable news for busy people.
The Now South Florida, letting you know what's happening right now.
Weekdays at 4 on WPTV, News Channel 5.
We're empowering South Florida families with information to protect what's yours.
We're here to share practical information you use every day,
So you can get more out of your money and more out of life.
Empowering you to protect what's yours on WPTV News Channel 5.
This monarchy is out of control. Out of control.
Your father would be disappointed in you. Why don't you tell me who my father is and then we'll see about that.
I'm done being a pawn in other people's games.
What is it with this family?
The Royals, November 15th, only on E!
Did you know that more than 1,300 smokers die each day and that 9 out of 10 smokers start in their teens? Learn more at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
444173.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Who thinks they can solve this math problem? Two cars are traveling in the same direction. How long until they collide? You ready to solve it? Go. 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 What's the answer?
I don't know.
There's a lot to process quickly, right? You want to meet a car that can help do it for you?
I'd love to.
Yeah. The Chevy Equinox offers forward collision alert to help warn you when you're approaching another vehicle too fast, so you can take action.
Is smarter than I am.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. You're watching Weather Center Live. We have two beautiful views for you this morning. If one's not enough, well, how about Atlanta on the left and Charlotte on the right? Both of them showing just a few high clouds. Today's going to be gorgeous in the southeast. However, it was a little bit breezy at times, but it's, a little cool. Now, we are going to be looking at much cooler temperatures for the weekend. We're even going to see some freeze warnings and frost advisories setting up, including parts of the southeast. Now, let's look at the southeast and we talk about what's happening right now for Saturday as well as into Sunday. We're going to be looking at those temperatures in the 60s. This is basically what you're going to see, but those overnight lows, they are actually going to be in some of those locations in the 40s. Chris.
Looking good. Not too bad at all. And Dr. Postel is here.
Chris?
And I was checking out what Jen was doing over here.
You know what? I had a little technical problems with the graphic there. Okay. So I just threw you under the bus.
Totally fine.
Okay.
Let's go right now. Dr. Greg Postel wants to make sure we don't get thrown under the bus because of the weather next week. And we're looking ahead. You're a medium range specialist here when it comes to forecasting, which basically means not the next couple of days, but looking beyond that. You have to look at bigger picture items in the atmosphere.
How about next Monday?
Right, and we're looking at some possibly big impacts next Monday.
I think there's some big ticket items in play on Monday. We are going to have, I think, a lot of rain across the south. Here's our forecast. We're going to have some big thunderstorms and some mountain snows. But I want to now draw our attention to this part of the world, that part of the country on Monday, because there's a chance that there'll be a lot of severe weather. Exactly how it breaks out in terms of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, I think it's still a little bit too early to tell. But the idea is that we have some of the ingredients in play for both tornadoes and severe thunderstorms with straight line winds. We're going to have a lot of moisture coming north out of the Gulf of Mexico, right? This is going to be a big player. We know the juice is on the loose on Monday. We'll probably have dew points of 70 degrees across Texas. And here's the other thing. The models are really kind of locking in on a pretty strong frontal zone moving across parts of Texas on Monday and Tuesday. Not real fast, but it's going to be a strong player, right? The front moving through, that's going to help lift the atmosphere along with it. So the question is, how does that sort of manifest itself into the mode of severe weather? Are we going to have a lot of lines of thunderstorms with high winds, or are we going to have a lot of tornadoes?
We say mode, you talk about the characteristics.
Right.
How is the severe weather, which you think is going to happen, how is it going to behave once it starts?
And I think that's too early to tell. I think there's a chance for tornadoes. Exactly how many and who gets them and how strong they're going to be, it's too early to know. You have to stay tuned, and as we go forward day by day, we'll refine those details.
At this point, I mean, it's the point where it could be like one or two or several. I mean, it's that broad, right?
It is that broad, and I think it's much a higher likelihood of seeing significant thunderstorm activity with a lot of heavy rain and some high winds near that frontal zone. We got lots of winds doing some crazy things in the atmosphere as you go up in altitude. We're pretty confident in that. That's going to allow those thunderstorms to last a long time, and it's right now looking like there's going to be a pretty decent amount of what's called CAPE, convective available potential energy, sort of the buoyancy, the energy for the thunderstorms to get tall. I think we'll have a decent amount of that, not a really high amount like we'd see in late spring, but enough to support severe weather. So the ingredients are there, and if you go through the checklist, you think, okay, well, we've got the shear, right, and the lift with the frontal zone and all the ingredients coming in. You can pretty much go down the list and say, all right, severe weather's a good bet, and I think it is, and that's why we've got Texas here in line on Monday to see just that.
And now we're still looking at the possibility north of that of some snow, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. You know what? It looks like parts of the Rockies, including Colorado, they're going to get a ton of snow, and that's great for the ski resorts. And we're going to be talking about that, too, in a little bit. All with the same storm system, believe it or not.
Looking forward to that, but a big heads up, impactful weather expected early.
Impactful weather, no doubt about that.
Yes.
We have to watch that for sure, and we looking ahead into next week, but the severe weather outbreak, as Dr. Postel just brought down, could also bring with it some snow in some parts, but the Pacific Northwest, some big time snow for you, a foot or more. Where exactly? Well, you have to watch the whole hour. We'll be right back.
Introducing Metris, the mid-size van from Mercedes-Benz. It's got small ability and big ability, towing ability and stowing ability, rack ability and HVAC ability. It's fully customizable and sized just right to give you cupcake ability, entourage ability, garage ability, and even affordability. Starting at $28,950. Available in cargo or passenger from Mercedes-Benz.
Making Christmas wishes come true from wherever you are, and having dreams delivered to your door. For some of us, that's all in a day's work. Shop the way you live, love the way you shop, and experience more wonder every day. Walmart.
I love you. Love you too.
One minute. We need to do this, yes. Good.
Bye.
Letting go.
I'll say a word.
It's a little easier when you've saved for college with State Farm.
More stay per roll.
Sit.
More sit per roll.
Watch me. Roll over. Whoops.
More who's training who per roll. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent. So one roll of Bounty can last longer than those bargain brands.
So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper. And try Bounty napkins.
This is Henry. Expertise, staining carpet. It is his life's work. He is relentless. He is resourceful. But this is new life-proof carpet from the Home Depot, with stain-resistant technology built in to help keep tough stains out. Checkmate, Henry. Let's do this. Save 10% on any carpet purchase when you use your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot.
Let's go.
A truck gets you places. It takes care of business when it gets there. And it lets us know who we are. For the best way to protect your truck, there's WeatherTech floor liners. Laser measured to protect the front, back, and even up the sides. A bed liner, bump step, and no-drill mud flaps. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com. WeatherTech, proudly made in America.
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in, and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground, Geek Nights at 6 on the Weather Channel. Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A lot of action in and around the Great Lakes. Look at this. You're going to need your Morton Saltgirl outfit on.
Yeah, right?
Right? You're going to need the full head-to-toe rubber jacket.
Yeah,
rubber...
thank goodness it's not Halloween because you'd scare everybody.
That?
The Morton Salt guy.
Yeah.
It's a guy or girl?
I think it's an old captain.
He's androgynous.
Because there's also
Can't tell.
There's also the fish one, the frozen fish. That's Gordon, right?
Maybe
Gordon
so.
Fisherman. All wonderful fish sticks. We love and endorse them all.
Regardless, point being is that it's not the rain that's going to get you soaked here.
The waves,
It's
and
the
it's
lake.
dangerous. You know, some of those big waves can send you right out on the other side. So don't go out in the water unless you're this guy
And you know
made
what
it
you're
back
doing.
home safely. Yeah. He is actually kite surfing, taking advantage of the winds. And we said this yesterday. We knew somebody was going to go out there.
So here's the thing, too. You get perspective of how big the waves are when you have somebody out there. And in this case, or you have a lighthouse, or you have some debris, some branches.
A bale of hay
Some
in the way.
bale of hay out there. You get an idea of how big some of it is. You look at the fence, and you can see it really blowing, too. So a very windy day for some dramatic scenes there in Lake Michigan.
And we're going to see that today, especially across parts of the eastern Great Lakes.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's going to be a windy time of it, right? The storm system is still with us. That's going to be, it's been plaguing parts of the upper Midwest for days. So, windy times and finally some cooler air coming back into the Northeast.
And so it's going to, even though it's going to look nice, it's going to feel much cooler. So let's talk about a weather phenomenon that happened. We often hear about this in the spring and summertime. And let's talk about how this one's a little different.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit different. What we saw move through parts of the upper Midwest back on Wednesday, there we go. This is actually qualified as a cereal derecho. That sounds like a breakfast food, but it's not. It's actually a line of really windy thunderstorms that lasts a long time and produce a lot of wind reports that, are pretty closely spaced there. So this was a significant event, a long-lasting event associated with a really fast-moving low-pressure system and a cold front. So there was a lot to it. I mean, some of those wind gusts, non-tornadic wind gusts, were over 80 miles per hour across parts of Iowa. So there was a lot of wind energy that was transferred from high altitudes down to the ground.
And speaking of those tornado reports too, we know now we have 10 confirmed and could go up to 13.
Tornadoes.
So it's interesting to go back and look at this system.
And the thing too is it's that one line really that's creating consistently bad weather essentially.
That's it, and that's what makes it sort of this sort of single long-lived coherent evolution of the squall line. That was what basically made it so destructive. I mean, it wasn't one storm and then dissipated and another one popped up. No, it was an entire line moving across hundreds of miles.
Well, should we take a look at some of this video then that we saw through this, and each one of those reports representing something? And this again from Wednesday, showing that very heavy rain, the wind blowing that rain, and that sign kind of wobbling there.
Right. I mean, these winds are, I would say, almost certainly over 50 miles per hour there, and there was a lot of sort of situations like this all across Iowa and Illinois on Wednesday. And it's not uncommon this time of year, believe it or not, to have these kinds of long-lived thunderstorm complexes and wind systems called derechos. We see them from time to time, so this is just yet another in our pocketbooks.
And let's take a look at another piece of video here. We saw this one, and you know, people are waiting for their flight, probably delayed, and then this happens.
And it looks like a ghost actually pushes the stairwell, but we do know, on a serious note, that it was actually an EF0 tornado that passed near the airport, and the wind's pushing that staircase into the plane, and you can hear people in the beeping.
You hear the beeping.
Yeah, you hear the beeping out of the words that you don't want to hear, of the passengers saying, "Oh my goodness, this is going to make it even harder for us to get out on time." Well, they had peak winds of 75 miles per hour. As we said, tornado count right now 10 for sure.
Did it hit the wing?
It looks like it hit the wing.
You see, yeah, it looked like it. Oh, that could have been much.
You pointed out yesterday, you just can't take off after this.
No, they're going to have to expect it and look at it, you would think, and I think everyone knows that.
And you know, the thing is that, you know, there were some tornadoes embedded within this squall line, and that is what made this one particularly fascinating, because there was a lot of sort of support for the development of tornadoes, even though the dominant mode was this what's called derecho. Now let's look at this sort of criteria for what a derecho is. I think this is kind of instructive. You'll hear this from time to time in the meteorology literature. It's a long-lived thunderstorm complex with really strong winds. I wouldn't say particularly strong, I'd say really strong. You have to have a swath of 58 mile per hour winds that extends for a couple of hundred miles and then some. This is a long-lived event, right? It doesn't just go away after an hour. It's with you for hours upon hours.
Millions impacted.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's why it gets a name.
Yeah, that's why it gets a name. And actually, I was in a really famous one across southern Wisconsin at the end of May in 1998. And that one had winds over 130 miles per hour in parts of eastern Michigan and even in southeastern Wisconsin. And I remember being in that and frightened, thinking, this has got to be a tornado, but it wasn't. It was tornadic-like winds coming at me from a squall line. It was absolutely insane. So anyway, so those are the criteria, and as I said, they're not really that uncommon. If you look at the weather maps here, they happen once or twice a year across much of the country. So, you know, we'll see them from time to time, and actually November is not that, well, it's not the most common time of year, but it can happen in November.
Anytime, really.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. So there it is, you know, a couple of times a year, certainly across parts of Iowa and Illinois and southern Wisconsin. And here's sort of the month-by-month breakdown of when they most often occur. And clearly they happen in the warm season more often than not. But I know you might think that's not a very high number, but there is a little bit of a peak there in November.
Yeah, a little something, yeah.
There's a little something to take away there. So, right, and so oftentimes you get these strong low pressure systems and cold fronts that are common in this part of the season, and those, given the right conditions, can produce derechos like we just had.
Yeah, what an amazing week, for sure.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
It was. Jen, we're going to talk about the Northeast coming up.
Yeah, you never can sleep on any of the months when you want to see some of these things popping up. Well, we look at video coming out of Detroit showing you the result of strong winds. This is showing you power lines down, and when you had wind gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, this is what happens. They snap. It knocked out power across the metro area at some time yesterday. 11,000 people were actually without power. Now, the airport reported wind gusts of 52 miles per hour. And you know what's hard for those utility workers to go out there and try to repair that and still deal with the strong winds. Well, here's a live view of Detroit right now, looking at the river, and overall things are still windy. We are going to continue to see those sustained winds up to about 18 to 25 sustained and some stronger gusts. But let's go in depth on the chilly winds and tell you what it feels like. You can see exactly where the colder air is in place this morning in the blue. It feels like 36 degrees in Buffalo, 37 in Pittsburgh. It certainly feels like November, but you can see ahead of that, we're looking at temperatures still in the upper 50s. Now, as we look at the winds, right now sustained at 25, 20 in Binghamton and 10 in New York, but those will continue to pick up as that low makes its way up towards the northeast. Right now, as we look ahead and show you what's happening with the satellite, there is our low. It's trying to make its way out of here and eventually will. I know people are saying, hey, we'd like to be done with that, but you can still see the impacts on the backside of that. We have a trough. Now, we look ahead through the morning as well as even into the afternoon. The winds remain gusty, 40 to 50 for Buffalo. I know we just talked to somebody a short while ago out of the Buffalo National Weather Service, 25 to 30 in Philadelphia. And then you're driving home. It is still windy out. So even those high profile vehicles, they're going to have a tough time with this. And we look ahead through Saturday morning, still in the range right around 15 to 20, 20 to 30 for some spots, coastal parts of the northeast. For Pittsburgh, we're looking at your windy conditions, those wind gusts 35 to 40. I mean, you're no stranger to strong winds, but when you add in that cold air in place too, it's going to feel much cooler with those overnight lows getting down to 37 degrees, Chris.
Hey, Jen, we're going to the west coming up. And if you've never been to the west, you can hop in a car and see so much different terrain, also so much different types of weather. There's a flood threat right now in the Pacific Northwest. And then if you head south, you get down into Southern California, there's fire danger as well. So we're going to take a look at both of those risks, the western fire danger and other areas that are getting hit by so much rain and mountain snow. That's all coming up here on Weather Center Live.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Brad. His day of coaching begins with knee pain when...
Hey, Brad, want to trade the all-day relief of 2-Aleve for 6 Tylenol?
What's the catch?
There's no catch.
You want me to give up my 2-Aleve for 6 Tylenol? No. For my knee pain, nothing beats my Aleve.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
As introductions go, this is a name you don't want to forget. The Ram ProMaster City. It speaks volumes. It speaks in deep, multi-purpose ways that will leave you in control of the conversation wherever you go.
The Citi Double Cash Card. It's a cashback win-win. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Meet Michelle, mother of 2. When she battled cancer, she needed support in ways she'd never imagined.
When I started chemo treatments, I decided to shave my head. When I came home, my 3-year-old was here and she was scared. She said, "I only love Daddy. I don't love you anymore." And I was devastated. The next day, I called the American Cancer Society. I spoke to some really wonderful women on the phone, And even though she didn't know me, she made it seem like I've known her forever. And that made a world of difference to me.
Your donation of just $19 a month could help support services like the American Cancer Society's round-the-clock Lifeline. We're here day or night with information about local resources, clinical trials, health insurance assistance, or just a compassionate ear. No one touched by cancer should feel alone. Your donation of $19 a month can help mothers like Michelle get the support they desperately need. Call 1-800-494-HELP to donate today.
What you doing?
Just prepping for my boss's party in a couple weeks.
What are those?
Crest white strips. They whiten way better than paste.
Crest 3D White Strips whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste.
Someone's making quite an impression.
This holiday season, select Crest White Strips are buy one, get one free.
Look at you, saving money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. At Walgreens, we call that Carpe Med Diem. That's almost Latin for seize the day to get more out of life and Medicare Part D. From $1 copays on select plans to now reward points on all prescriptions. Walgreens has you covered. So drop by and seize the savings. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira giving me new perspective. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
And welcome back. You're watching Weather Center Live. Beautiful view of Los Angeles. Chris, we need to go there right now. It looks so nice. Wilshire Boulevard. Today, expecting sunny skies, high in the lower 80s, but there are some problems.
Yeah, it's not what you see, it's what you don't see. Dry conditions, warm weather, and windy conditions does lead to a fire danger red flag warning in effect until this evening, 6 p.m. local time. So let's get some local perspective right now, shall we, with KNBC meteorologist Crystal Egger. And let's talk about this fire situation. Good morning to you, Crystal.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to both of you. Yes, we have had very dry air and some gusty localized winds. This has not been a widespread Santa Ana event, but up in the mountains, the canyons and passes, we have seen some of the stronger winds. We had a fire in the Simi Valley area yesterday. Otherwise, so far so good. We're going to wrap up the red flag warning at 6 p.m. tonight and really change up the weather pattern for the second half of the weekend. Now, initially, we'll see some rain coming into Northern California, which is great news. Today, we continue with the offshore wind flow. A lot of people complaining about how dry the air is, how much lotion they're needing, relative humidity in the single digits, you guys. It doesn't get much drier than that. So that's obviously going to heighten the fire danger with the extreme drought that we're in. You can see temperatures look perfect. By the way, Chris Warren is going to be here tonight. I'll see him tomorrow.
You're going already?
Yeah, you said it was a good idea to go. So
and you booked it in the last 30 seconds.
Some of us are thinking ahead.
You are.
You picked a perfect weekend, at least Saturday, sunshine and 75. So great weather in Los Angeles to start the weekend, and then we'll start cooling down on Sunday, 65 degrees, then down to 63 Monday. I do have some spotty rain in the forecast late Sunday night. A lot of rain for the northern part of the state. You guys, more snow coming in. Our snowpack is looking great compared to where we were at this time last year. You see the comparison? Last year in November, we had no snow. So this is a good sign, a good start to the season. Hopefully we get a lot more. Mammoth is reporting a 40-inch base right now. Temperatures in the Tahoe area down to the 30s, and we have another storm on the way. So Sunday we get more snow up in the mountains, an average of about 4 to 8 inches. And Jen, you got to join Chris sometime.
Apparently I do, because he got the message and I didn't, but I understand. You guys go way back.
All right, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Crystal.
All right, you too, and good luck with your team. I know that's why you're coming out here. So.
Yes.
It's all about football with you.
That's right. Thank you very much, Crystal.
Have a good weekend.
Sure. You too.
Well, it's a beautiful Friday morning because it's Friday.
It is. Hopefully you don't have to work this weekend.
We have a couple cities that we're looking at.
And this right now is a live look at Minneapolis. Also, we're looking at St. Louis. And when was the last time you've been to St. Louis?
Probably like 6 weeks ago. But
When's
I'm
the next
going
time
in
you're
like
gonna go?
I'm going again this weekend.
Right. See, so you couldn't have come to Los Angeles.
No, but I could have stopped there and made my way to LA. But you and Crystal, you guys have a friendship. I understand that. But at the Midwest, it's so much nicer today. And of course, yesterday you dealt with the strong winds. But all those views are beautiful and sunny. Chris has a case of the giggles over here.
Platonic friendship.
Yes, I know. Absolutely. I do know that she's a very happily married woman. But as we show you the temperatures right now, and this is what it is right now, 33 degrees in Minneapolis, 34 in Des Moines. What a big change you've seen. Earlier this week, you had the numbers in the 60s. You were sitting pretty. But tomorrow, these temperatures are going to go right back into the 60s. So even though yesterday we were showing you temperatures with a wind chill, the numbers are above average. It's kind of hard to believe when you wrap your mind around it. Sioux City, 17 degrees above average. And this has really been the story across parts of the Midwest over the last couple of weeks and month, above average numbers. We look ahead to Sunday, beautiful weekend, 61 degrees in Sioux Falls, 59 in Kansas City. What happened to my St. Louis here? We left you off the map. But I always have you in my heart. Over to you, Chris.
Yes, you do. We're going to take a look at where there is going to be epic amounts of snowfall and explain why that's going to happen. Also, we're going to check in with some ski resorts enjoying a pretty good start to November so far.
Do you suffer from constipation or irregularity? Trust Dulcolax for dependable relief. Try free at dulcolaxoffers.com. Dulcolax stool softener makes it easier to go comfortably. Hurry! Try free at dulcolaxoffers.com. Dulcolax, designed for dependable relief.
If I want to go up,
hello.
if I want to go down, but then if I want to come back again, it's perfect. Now that we've added adjustable base, my favorite part is to be able to lift your legs up a little bit, lift the head up a little bit, and it feels like I'm just cradled.
Save up to $300 instantly on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus add an adjustable base and receive up to a $300 Tempur-Pedic Visa prepaid card by mail.
And there you have it.
Visit Mattress Firm, America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer today, and sleep happy tonight.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Where's the rain that's happening right now as you walk out the door?
A lot of people traveling, but we'll keep an eye on it for you.
Because the weather impacts your day in 100 ways you see and 1,000 ways you don't.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
So include us in your routine.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I try hard to get a great shape. This I can do easily. Benefiber Healthy Shape helps curb cravings. It's a clear, taste-free daily supplement that's clinically shown to help keep me fuller longer. Benefiber Healthy Shape. This I can do.
What are the critics saying about Love the Coopers?
Would you like to talk about it?
Yes. It's a must-see with a stellar cast.
Yeah?
What do you mean, no? Your new favorite holiday film is here.
Hear, hear.
Love the Coopers, rated PG-13, in theaters today.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 12 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
I said, better sign.
Hi, I'm Andrew Luck. Could anyone use some of my lucky beard for retirement?
I could use some luck.
Make a wish. Nice.
Thanks.
Your turn.
No, thanks, Andrew. See, TD Ameritrade has everything I need for retirement, like rollover consultants for assistance and portfolio planning tools to help me manage my IRA. So I think I'm good.
Oh, well. Luck is in the air.
I just had a horrible nightmare. My company's entire network went down and I was home in bed unaware. But that would never happen. Comcast Business monitors my company's network 24 hours a day and calls and emails me if something like this scary storm takes it offline, so I can rest easy. What, you don't have a desk bed?
Don't be left in the dark. Get proactive alerts 24/7. Comcast Business, built for business.
Buddy, nice place, nice car. What happened?
Well, it all started with my free credit score from CreditSesame.com. They gave me so much more than a free credit score. Credit Sesame's money management tools and personalized offers saved me tons of money and helped me reach my goals.
I just signed up with their free app. What's my credit score?
Your credit score is 650.
That's magic.
No, that's CreditSesame.com.
You get so much more than a free credit score, so do more with your score at CreditSesame.com.
844-4173.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
Right now on Weather Center Live, this is a live look at the Rose City, Portland, Oregon, looking over the Willamette River. Cloudy skies over the West Hills right now. More clouds going to be hanging around. Most of the showers right now in the mountains, in the Coast Range and in the Cascades along the west slopes. Let's take a look at that forecast for you and show you kind of what's going on. There's a steady stream of moisture moving into the Pacific Northwest. And with that, we have quite a few clouds. Also the threat for some flooding. And you can kind of guess where that would be. Western Washington, where all the rain is right now. That stream of moisture going to be with us this weekend. Snow levels starting out pretty high in the Washington Cascades, around 7,000 feet. That's why you see green over the mountains. That 4 where you have right here, that 4 is right over the Cascades. They're right here. But we watch going through the weekend. Look how that changes. You see the blue now. Now as the snow level drops to around 2,000 feet, you're looking at most of the major mountain passes picking up snow. So bottom line in the Pacific Northwest, guys, be ready for winter travel. But in the Rockies, be ready to have those skis and snowboards waxed.
Oh yeah, they have to have the chains out, and the skiers are going to be so excited because the snow coming down for the Rockies in a big way.
They're going to get hammered.
Back to back.
Yeah, and this is really great news for the ski resorts. Unfortunately, there are going to be some, I think, big-time snows over populated areas that could make travel very difficult and dangerous. But I know the ski resorts are going to be, gung-ho over all this. Feet of snow, I think, over the next few days.
Especially before Thanksgiving.
This is all the way through Wednesday evening. So we've got a long way to kind of watch this, but you can watch it on the satellite pictures right now. Chris was showing us, there's a lot of cold air here and a strong jet stream coming in the northwest. All that stuff and all those strong winds that are right now at the jet stream level, over 150 miles per hour. I'll tell you what, Jen and everybody, that dip in the jet stream there is going that way, and it's going to head over the Rockies.
It's going to dig to the southwest, right?
Oh, yeah. And let's look at Monday right here, right? Low pressure begins to take shape over the Four Corners, and that is when we start to see a lot of snow over the higher terrain here, and it's going to get worse from Monday to Monday night and into Tuesday. This is really, really, really cool. And then the low moves out over the high plains. Yes, I love this because we got a strong north. We're going to have blizzard conditions here.
I see that.
You know?
That cold air just wrapping around it.
Totally, yeah. And then we're going to have a lot of snow in Denver and in the higher elevations. But guess what? It keeps going on into Tuesday. Then it moves out over the plains. We could have a blizzard. Lyman, Colorado, maybe McCook, Nebraska. Some of my favorite places. Guyman, Oklahoma. Watch out for some big snows and some strong winds.
Yeah, you know what? You were so excited over this. I didn't need to be here. You were just enjoying this. I know.
I love the structure of these winter storms. I'd love to talk hours about that.
You know, the rain, some of these areas looking at some very heavy rainfall.
And they'll get that.
Chris.
We know there is a big benefit to what we've been seeing lately. That is a solid start to the ski season in the Rockies especially. And what a difference a year makes. Kristen Stewart joins us from Breckenridge Resort in Colorado. Kristen, good to talk with you. And will you help put this into perspective? How is this year compared to the past few years?
Well, I will say the series of storms has set us up for an amazing ski season. And right now our snow base is above average for this time of year. So we couldn't be more excited. So what that means is that now every storm that comes, it means we can open more terrain at a quicker pace and provide more great product for folks who are skiing and riding.
Yeah, you know, and skiing early is the thing. When you have so much snow there, it's usually Thanksgiving everybody comes out, but now you guys have to gear up for an earlier arrival, right?
Well, you know, Breckenridge and our sister resort Keystone, we typically open around the 1st of November. And then our other resorts, Vail and Beaver Creek, they usually open right around the Thanksgiving holiday. But this is not abnormal for a ski resort like Breckenridge because of our altitude. We're at 10,000 feet. We typically are open from, if you can believe it, mid-November to late April. So we get a lot of snow up here. And we're
really quickly, what do you think are going to be the best days out of the next 4 or 5 days?
I think we lost her.
So, you know, the storm started last Monday in California. Oh, are you there?
Yes.
Are you there? Oh, are you there?
Yes, we're here. We only have about 10 seconds left.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
All right, we will talk to you later on again. And right now, Chris, we're looking at some more.
After looking at some nice dogs,
I know, I was kind of mesmerized by it too.
Getting a little distracted there. That's fun. We're going to be back with a look at the big wind maker in the Great Lakes, what's coming for the Northeast, and the next round next week.
Dyson V6 vacuum. No cord, just powerful suction.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I mean, it's just rain and rain and rain and rain and rain.
But this isn't the ocean. This isn't a lake. This isn't a river. This is someone's parking lot.
Let me just show you guys this. This is a kitchen of a house. It is crazy. I have never seen anything like this before.
It was very slick. I was actually getting very worried about the conditions.
I was like driving home and like I could just feel the wind like kind of like swaying my car a little bit.
We certainly have been tracking a lot of wild weather this week, really covering pretty much every season.
We did. We had the flooding. I don't know if we had any snow in there. We had snowstorms,
We did
blizzards.
have snow in there.
I mean, everything came down this week.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Severe weather, tornadoes, fires from the dry conditions. So much happening. This is Weather Center Live. We're in the lab. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Jennifer Delgado. It is Friday. Brace yourself. November the 13th.
Which means it's Friday.
Freaky Friday.
The 13th.
I know. Absolutely.
And we have the guy, Dr. Greg Postel.
Wait a minute, Friday the 13th and me?
Yes.
That sounds like bad luck.
No, you're good luck.
It's a good luck. You're our rabbit's foot today.
Oh, good. Yeah, we have tons. I mean, there's going to be a big storm coming out across the U.S. next week, early next week, beginning probably late Sunday and Monday. And it's going to bring all kinds of weather, maybe some severe weather and a lot of snow in the Rockies.
Kind of that weather buffet. Heavy rainfall, snow, everything.
So we're also going to take a closer look at what happened at that derecho from midweek, but also let's take a look at yesterday's weather right now and kind of what happened and how that played out.
The strong winds that were so incredible across parts of the upper Midwest, and we're still holding on to that spin. That low is right now to the north of Burlington, and you can see everything kind of wrapping around on that, and even some of that lake effect snow setting up. I know some parts of Michigan got 6 inches of snowfall already this morning. Now we talk about the winds and the storm reports. You can see some of the damage that is left behind with those wind gusts of 50 to 60. No, secret as to why we have all those blue dots.
Well, yeah, let's take a look at what those blue dots translate to on video.
Wind-wise.
Right. Let's take a look at St. Joseph, Missouri here, and
Michigan.
Michigan,
yeah. Sorry, I did that.
We don't have that river in Missouri. We know St. Joseph.
What? Okay, anyways, that's not the point. The point is, here in Michigan, as we look here, what's going on? The waves are going upriver.
Right.
They're going the wrong way.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that before? Yeah, there's a strong west wind, right, that's coming from the lake, which is to the left on the screen, and that is blowing all the water, as you say, upriver. Huge swells going upstream. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and typically it flows from right to left, so you see it backwards. Well, they say that these November gales, they're called locally November witches. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Jonathan Erdman actually sent that out on the weather email. So kind of witchy on this Friday the 13th, even though that was November the 12th.
All right, Jen.
The winds also caused problems further to the east in Buffalo, New York. Strong gusts knocked a large tree onto this car. We're showing you the video. Here it is. You can see the car didn't win on this one. This is after wind gusts of 57 miles per hour. Now, wind advisory remains in effect until later this afternoon. Winds are still expected to gust up to 50 miles per hour today.
All right, let's get some local perspective from the Buffalo National Weather Service office. David Church is joining us from that area. And David, thank you for your time. And what do you think right now? We look at the damage, you look at some of the weather reports. What's standing out to you? What are you finding most interesting with what's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think the most interesting thing we've seen, really the best push of wind we had was yesterday afternoon right behind the cold front. And I think what really got a lot of people's attention in the Buffalo area here was the big swell on Lake Erie that came down. Basically, there was a big seiche, as we would call it, which is when you get the big rise in lake waters on the eastern end of the lake here. So I was watching some of the footage were showing up there, and that's sort of what people are really talking about, the big waves crashing over the roadway there, shut down part of Highway 5 going south of Buffalo, where the waves were just crashing over the road, and eventually we're getting debris up on the road off the lake and waves in the road, so they ended up having to close that down. So that was a pretty impressive event. When the lake levels rose that quickly yesterday afternoon. And then we did see a fair amount of damage in the city of Buffalo, numerous trees down around town, numerous power outages. So certainly the wind inland even, and then also the big waves along the coast.
And you know, David, let me ask you this very quickly. How does this compare to seeing anything else you've seen, especially for this time of the year? Do you expect this in the spring, or?
Well, this is a pretty good November storm for us. We do usually a pretty windy area in the fall, but to get a storm this strong in November, it doesn't come around too often. Once we get into December, it gets to be a little more common. But certainly, this is actually just my second year here in the Buffalo office, so I'm still getting a good feel for how impressive these storms can be in November here.
All right, we want to thank you again. That is David Church with the National Weather Service in Buffalo. So let's update you on the winds, and we show you the low that we are still tracking. You can kind of see it on the water vapor. That spin very clear. And what we have is actually the winds that are going to continue throughout the morning, as well as even through your afternoon. Even by Saturday, we're still holding on to some of these. And we know what the setup is. We have the tight pressure gradient. Anytime you see those white lines close together, you're going to have a problem with the winds. Winds coming in from the northwest, making it feel much cooler. As we show you right now, the winds, and we go from 11 a.m. on 30 miles per hour. Some of these 25 to 30 for Boston, D.C. 25 to 30. So even to the north and even through parts of the mid-Atlantic, it stays rather gusty. This continues through Saturday at 10 a.m. If you're walking out the door in the morning and walking around New York, you still got those winds to deal with between 30 and 35 miles per hour, but they will start to weaken to the west.
Dealing in the west with rain and dry conditions, we're going to tackle the rain and the feet of snow expected for the Pacific Northwest coming up. In fact, let's take a soggy look right now at Seattle and some of the surrounding areas. Significant flood threat to talk about.
This program brought to you by AARP. Real possibilities. The manpower. The will. Mobilizing to take on the world? You don't know ARP. AARP and AARP Foundation are taking on hunger with 31 million meals donated. Drive to End Hunger teams with local agencies to reach the hungriest among us. If you don't think ending hunger when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
It's the little things in life that make me smile. Spending the day with my niece. I don't use Super Polygrip for hold because my dentures fit well. Before, those little pieces would get in between my dentures and my gum and it was uncomfortable.
Even well-fitting dentures let in food particles. Just a few dabs of Super Polygrip Free is clinically proven to seal out more food particles so you're more comfortable and confident while you eat.
So it's not about keeping my dentures in, it's about keeping the food particles out.
Try Super Polygrip Free.
It's your thing. See results in just 1 week with Slim Fast. Shake it off. Blend it off. Just take it off and keep it off. Rich, protein-packed Slim Fast controls hunger up to 4 hours. Slim Fast. It's your thing.
This is Henry. Expertise, staining carpet. But this is new life-proof carpet with stain-resistant technology built in to help keep tough stains out. Let's do this. Save 10% on any carpet purchase when you use your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot.
It all comes down to Phoenix for a chance to qualify for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship.
Jeff Gordon looking for a storybook ending to the 2015 season.
Who will join Jeff Gordon in Miami? The Round of 8 continues Sunday on NBC. Coverage begins on NBCSN.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord, help us.
Pain not sitting too well, burning to feel better, itching for relief? Preparation H offers the most maximum strength solutions for all hemorrhoid symptoms from the brand doctors recommend most. Preparation H. Don't stand for hemorrhoids.
It takes a lot of work to run this business. I'm on the move all day long. And sometimes I just don't eat the way I should. So I drink Boost to get the nutrition that I'm missing.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a great taste.
I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon.
Stay strong, stay active with Boost. Now try new Boost Compact and 100 calories.
The Citi Double Cash Card. It's a cashback win-win. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Do you really think that's a good idea?
If everyone jumped off a cliff, would you do it too?
You'll lose interest.
It's just a phase.
It hurts me more than it hurts you.
Where are your manners? Were you raised by wolves?
You're gonna give me a heart attack.
When you have kids, you'll understand.
This is the life of a rebel. Sorry, Mom.
Start your shopping early with great savings during our holiday prep event. Right now, select designer suits are just $229.99. All outerwear is 50% off. Plus, buy one, get one free on more great looks. Survive the holidays with Men's Warehouse.
Right now on Weather Center Live, this is a live look at Philadelphia and Boston. And would you say that's looking pretty good?
Yeah, you just don't see the winds.
You don't see the winds right now, but we are dealing with a little bit of wind here. Let's take a look at the satellite radar combination. So a look at where there are clouds, and there are quite a few clouds in the northeast, not in these specific spots, but the northeast forecast is going to show you eventually that some sunshine is on the way. Here's a look at where the clouds are and where we're seeing some clearing. So where you don't see white along the eastern seaboard here, that's where you have a fair amount of sunshine. And then northern New England dealing with some showers right now, and this is the forecast for the weekend. Still plenty of sunshine where we're seeing it right now with 40s, but warming up in some cases about 10 to 12 degrees from Saturday to Sunday, and it looks like by then, Jen, everyone should be dry.
Yeah, you know what, the weekend has just actually gotten better looking over the last couple days. Now we look at Seattle. Unfortunately for you, you're not going to see a lot of sunshine anytime soon, but if you notice that camera blowing around and you see the needle, and right now it is actually cold. I think it's 51 degrees in Seattle. Cloudy skies and some very heavy rain in the forecast. A lot of these areas are going to be dealing with potentially some flooding up through Sunday morning. And we're going to kind of see this coming in waves. So we show you what's happening on the radar, and you can see where the heaviest rain is right along the mountains. You can see to the west, Puget Sound, we have the rain shadow there. And then over towards the east, we have another round of heavy rainfall, of course, right along the mountains. But I also want to point out to you, Mount Rainier is starting to see things lighting up for you. You're going to be picking up, it looks like, a foot of snowfall. Good news for all you skiers. Now down towards parts of Portland, you can see right along 84, things are a lot quieter. All the action remains up towards north, and this is where we're going to see the potential for some of these locations, about 8 inches of rainfall even as we go through Sunday. And here's why. Look at all that moisture just streaming in, that onshore flow, bringing with it the strong winds. And as you can see, there's our low that is also going to be making its way and deepening, and that is going to be kicking off some severe weather for early next week. Here's the setup as we continue to see this just riding along with the jet stream, and the impact means that onshore flow bringing heavy rainfall for any of those areas that you're seeing in yellow, Chris.
And again, we are looking at that flood potential as well. River flooding and some local urban flooding throughout parts of western Washington and at times western Oregon. But the flood watch is in effect here for a lot of the rivers in western Washington. And this is a look at a couple of aspects here. First, the drought. And I want to show you here, as you look at this, you can kind of tell where the Cascade Mountains are. And it's much drier east over here than it is west. And guess what's going to happen with all the rain we're going to see? That's exactly what's going to happen. So not a ton of drought relief east of the Cascades, a little bit up here in North Idaho and northeast Washington to Montana, but most of the rain coming down in the mountains of the Olympics and the North Washington Cascades in the coming days. This is the timing. Snow levels generally around 7,000 to 8,000 feet today and tonight. Starting to come down this weekend. That's when you're going to pick up more snow at the ski resorts themselves. It's really just going to be the higher elevations the next couple of days picking up the majority of the snow. And then we're going to see more of this tracking down all the way down into California and some of the Intermountain West, picking up more of that snow as well. But as far as some of the wet spots, some of the wet cities, you're looking at some rain in Seattle. We're seeing it right now. Going to get a little break here in a moment with the wind. Cooler temperatures. Again, this translates to snow in the mountains and kind of the hit and miss showers there on Sunday. And then Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be wet again. So kind of more of the same, Jen.
Kind of that broken record.
Right.
All right, well, we're looking ahead for the potential for severe weather early next week. And with it, we could also be dealing with some heavy rainfall as well as some big time snow. We're going to break that down with Dr. Greg Postel right after the break. Happy Friday.
You may know us for our quality fuels. You might know we're the world's largest independent refiner, or even that we're in the Fortune 500 Top 20. But did you know we've given over $100 million for children's charities, delivered more than 45,000 Meals on Wheels, and given over $10 million for higher education? To appreciate a company's true value, you have to understand the heart of its people.
More stay per roll.
Sit. Sit.
More sit per roll.
Watch me. Roll over. Whoops.
More who's training who per roll. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent. So 1 roll of Bounty can last longer than those bargain brands. So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper. And try Bounty napkins.
Expose the black beneath the white. In light of day, in dark of night. When winter shuts down work and schools, come with resolve and powerful tools. Endure through every push, salt, and stack until your streets are back to black.
I'm Mike Bettis. That's Sarah. Welcome to the set of a brand new show, Weather Underground. There'll be experts, bloggers, the smartest weather minds in the business on every screen you have 24 hours a day. Geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknight.
I just had a horrible nightmare. My company's entire network went down and I was home in bed unaware. But that would never happen. Comcast Business monitors my company's network 24 hours a day and calls and emails me if something like this scary storm takes it offline, so I can rest easy. What, you don't have a desk bed?
Don't be left in the dark. Get proactive alerts 24/7. Comcast Business, built for business.
We live in a pick and choose world. Love or like, naughty or nice, calm or bright. But at bedtime, why settle for this? Enter Sleep Number. Don't miss the semi-annual sale going on now. Sleep IQ technology tells you how you slept and what adjustments you can make. She likes the bed soft. He's more hardcore. So your sleep goes from good to great to wow. Gift the best sleep of your life to your whole family. Only at a Sleep Number store. Save $500 on the Veterans Day Special Edition mattress with Sleep IQ technology. Hurry, and Sunday. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Things are too big to miss.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Welcome. We have 3 Chevys here. All right. I want you to place this award on the podium next to the vehicle that you think was ranked highest in initial quality by J.D. Power.
Can I look around at them?
Sure. Highest ranking in initial quality.
It's got to be this one.
This is it.
You are wrong.
Really?
Actually, it's all 3.
You tricked me.
J.D. Power ranked the Chevy Malibu, Silverado Half-Ton, and Equinox highest in initial quality in their segments.
That's impressive.
I'm very surprised.
I'm very surprised. Chevy hit 3 home runs.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. You are watching Weather Center Live. Hello to you, Atlanta, and good morning to you and Charlotte. Right now, sunshine, just a few high clouds. Today, a gorgeous day. Will it last all the way through the weekend? I have good news for you. It will. It is going to be cooler. Today, we're going to see comfortable temperatures, but we're going to see those overnight lows really falling. And then, in fact, we're going to see some hard freeze warnings and freeze advisories in place. So make sure if you even have any plants outside that you're hoping to save, today's the day. We look across parts of the southeast. We're under that cool dome of high pressure, and that means no problems with humidity. Temperatures generally are going to be in the 50s as we go through Saturday as well as into Sunday. But we look ahead to your weekend because it is Friday and everybody wants to look ahead. 56 for your current temperature in Memphis, 62 in New Orleans. And then we go into Saturday as well as into Sunday after a cool start. High temperatures are only going to climb to 59 in Atlanta and 65 in Montgomery. I don't know what the two guys over here are doing, but they're doing some type of windmill motion. Maybe they're imitating their winds. Yeah, Sunday, high temperatures are still going to be 59 in Atlanta and 66 New Orleans. You guys look like either you're doing the backstroke. I don't know what's going on over there.
We're doing all
Maybe you're dancing.
We're getting
I was doing a little backstroke. I was a swimmer.
Yeah.
You're a swimmer.
Yeah.
His daughter's a swimmer.
We are, right? And we're getting ready because impactful weather expected next week.
Oh yeah, big time.
You're gonna have to stay loose and limber as you track this one because we're looking at the potential for some severe weather, possibly some flooding, and you're looking at the ingredients now, how it's coming together.
I think we're not only going to have a lot of rain in the south again, I think we're going to have severe weather and also snow in the Rockies. Let's look at the severe weather side of this storm. Early next week, we're talking next Monday. This is the area that I want to focus our attention on because the ingredients are kind of lining up for severe weather across that part of the, I would say, mid-south or even the southern plains because we have a cold front. We're going to have a lot of moisture coming northward out of the Gulf of Mexico. You asked me a question earlier about, what do you think the tornado risk is?
Right.
I think it's a little bit too early to get detailed on it. I don't want to show torcons. I feel uncomfortable doing that right now.
But you know that there is a risk.
There will be a risk.
Right.
Correct. Exactly how much, how strong the tornadoes will be, it's way too early to tell. But some of the ingredients will be there to support tornadic activity along with some severe thunderstorms. Let's look at the cold front again across parts of the southern plains because that's going to be, I think, the driver for all of it. It's all going to happen, I think, near and out ahead of that cold front, not too far away from it, with a lot of moisture streaming northward out of the Gulf of Mexico with, I think, dew points near or above 70.
So we're talking now, because there's a lot of uncertainty, but we're talking about what we do know.
Right. I think we're pretty confident in a lot of strong winds aloft. Now, whether that manifests itself in a lot of tornadoes or a line of thunderstorms that produces strong winds, it's too early to know. I would, at this early stage, suggest that the line of thunderstorms with strong winds in it and maybe some embedded supercells is probably more likely, but I don't want to get more detailed than that.
But either scenario will be impactful.
Very impactful. Strong winds coming out of the south at all kinds of levels, right? We have the low-level winds coming like that, mid-level winds coming like that, and that kind of what's called wind shear is typical for the kind of severe weather that we think is going to happen. Anyway, there will be enough instability to play with as well, so it'll be warm and humid near the ground, helping to fuel those thunderstorms across parts of the southern plains. So if you go down this checklist, you kind of check them all off, right? That says sends some red lights going on, right?
And the fine-tuning of the details is how much weight do you give to each one of these? How much, on the scale, where did they end up, right?
That's exactly right, and exactly the weighting of all those different parameters. Again, too early to know, but that area in Texas, watch out on Monday. If nothing else, there's going to be a lot of rain. That we're highly confident in because of the amount of moisture that's coming northward from the Gulf and the strength of the upper-level circulation coming in from the west.
All right, and Jenny, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I got my arms going. And you're talking about the severe, but we also want to update you on the snow that's been coming down through parts of the upper Midwest. Some of these locations have already picked up 6 inches. How about a live view of Marquette? Oh, it's snow.
I tried Depend last weekend. It really made the difference between a morning around the house and getting a little exercise.
Only Depend underwear has new Confidence Core technology for fast absorption and the smooth, comfortable fit of FitFlex protection. Get a coupon at Depend.com.
Discover Card. card. Hi. So it says here I can redeem my cashback bonus for cash. Do I need to have a certain amount?
Nope. You can redeem your cash back for any amount, anytime.
That's great.
Yeah, you can use it for a statement credit or even get the cash.
Nice. I could use that extra cash for a last-minute gift.
One less thing hanging over your head. Right.
Tell me about it. Gary, you gotta go.
Who's Gary?
Mistake from last year coming back around again. Too much eggnog.
Yes!
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Redeem your cash back for any amount, anytime. Get it at discover.com.
When your cold makes you wish you could stay in bed all day, you need the power of new TheraFlu Express Max. New TheraFlu Express Max, the power to feel better.
Look at you, saving money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. At Walgreens, we call that Carpe Med Diem. That's almost Latin for seize the day to get more out of life and Medicare Part D. From $1 copays on select plans to now reward points on all prescriptions. Walgreens has you covered. So drop by and seize the savings. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
You can't predict the market, but at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your investments through good times and bad. For over 75 years, our clients have relied on us to bring our best thinking to their investments. So in a variety of market conditions, you can feel confident in our experience. Call a T. Rowe Price retirement specialist or your advisor to see how we can help make the most of your retirement savings. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
The love you feel for Olive Garden's fresh-baked breadsticks? Well, multiply that by 1,000,000. New breadstick sandwiches, part of Olive Garden's lunch duo, starting at $6.99.
How do you host the holidays? Plan for a crowd or a few? Aisle hop or window shop? However you build cheer, Black Friday savings are already here. Save over $800 on this Samsung refrigerator. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in and... boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground. Geek Nights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. High 83. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 73. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday, morning thunderstorms. High 81. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now in Weather Center Live, we are looking at a patriotic snowy scene here in Wakefield, Michigan. Mike, thank you for this picture. And it looks like it is January.
Yeah, it does.
Here, no leaves on the